What? What do you mean, what? Anyways, hello. I quite literally intended to stream at my normal-ish time, or even early today, because I did not get the Kirara video that I recorded. One, because, like, as I was editing part of it, I was like, I feel like I kind of want to re-record this video, because it's not like it turned out bad, I don't think, from the recording. It just, I think, could have been done a little bit better. Primo Gems, how exciting. And anyways, it was like the time, and so there's a lot of context for things going on here for why, I don't know. If you've been watching my live streams, you can probably tell I've been a little bit randomly tired lately, more often. And that's because, like, I don't know, like, this is the longest stretch of this happening. When you have, like, one instance of you, like, staying up for a long stretch, right? It kind of fuddles your brain, and your sleep gets screwed up for, like, multiple days, right? Well, that's what, like, my brain has been. Like, I've been having my sleep schedule screwed up for, I think, a month. So, like I saw Osoria, you asked about if I did the 28-hour day. I mean, I was mentioning I should maybe try to purposely do that at this point in the past, because of the fact that, like, well, my sleep schedule's been so screwed up that I may as well try to do something intentionally if it's going to be screwy. No, I'm not doing anything intentionally. It's more been like, more often than not, I've been having like 4 or 5 hour sleeping sessions, sometimes longer, sometimes not. And then still not feeling like I wake up the time I need to wake up, or I feel energized properly, yada yada, some mix of that, and like no regularity. And I don't know, like, I think it's, I mean, I'm encountering a problem of not having a rigorous enough schedule for things I have to do at certain times, has made it so, like, because normally you have things you need to do that will, like, force realignment for your brain. So you'll have like a couple terrible days, but then you'll, like, realign, right? So anyways, point is, like, I think it has significantly affected the kinds of videos I was going to try to get out this patch. Like, I still haven't recorded the Pyro Traveler video, because, like, every time I, like, want to record it, I just, like, can't to get in the energy state in the day to, like, do that and, like, play around with the different teams and yada yada. The Kirara video was, I think, good enough that I should have finished that one, but the reason I chose not to finish the Kirara video was it was like 2 a.m. last night. It was the same, related to sleep again, where, like, I did stuff with my friends in the middle of the day, as I normally do. Usually that lasts until the evening. That lasted until like 6 p.m. And then, but I was, like, super tired after that. Part of that reason was, yes, because of screwy, like, inconsistent sleeping schedule because of the previous video, but also other things and whatever, right? So, like, this is the problem. I just can't get, like, in alignment properly. Anyways, so it was like 2-3 a.m. or something, which is like normal sleeping time for me if I am going to sleep on, like, a regular time. Like, that's not actually a problem. So I was like, okay, 2-3 a.m. This is an opportunity to, like, realign my sleep schedule, go to sleep at like 3-ish a.m., right? Wake up in time to do a unit review stream so I can spend, like, a good 6 hours doing unit reviews, which is tiring to its own right, but in a different way, not in, like, a physical way. And then, cool, I can maybe use that to realign, and, oh well, the Kirara video can wait, yada yada. And then I just, like, my brain woke up. I woke up at, like, I think 10 a.m. briefly, and then very quickly fell back asleep. Like, I don't even remember, like, doing anything other than seeing the time at 10 a.m., right? So, and then I woke up at 2 p.m., which is an hour ago. Like, my brain. So, anyways, and now because this stream is, like, it's also a terrible idea to, like, title a stream this way, because nobody's gonna watch this stream. No, I mean, look, you guys are not nobody. I'm just saying nobody relative to, like, if I had a stream that's more focused, like, you know, on, hey, let's see how good the new Imaginarium Theater is, right? That kind of stream gets way more viewers. The more concise and specific a stream topic is for YouTube, the more it actually gets viewers. Doing something like, I don't know, I don't really have a plan type stream on YouTube doesn't really work. This would be the kind of day that if I was regularly streaming on Twitch, I would just do a Twitch stream instead, probably. So, anyways, maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe I'll get 400 viewers a stream for some reason. That would be impressive. But I suspect it's going to be like my normal, like low average when I do nothing streams. And when I just do yaps about nothing in particular and just play the game. So all you nobodies, this is me just being silly. Is like usually 200 viewers, which is fine. I like me a relaxed stream sometimes, right? It's just like in this instance, I actively chose to not make an edited video for the day in the moment last night because I was like, okay, I want to do a unit review stream instead. And now tomorrow my decision is like, okay, do I want to do a unit review stream tomorrow, or maybe it's going to be a yap stream tomorrow depending on if we get a certain character's kit leaks, because if we do, I can tell you if we actually get multipliers tomorrow. I don't think we are. I suspect we're going to get multipliers on Tuesday because we need like the actual we don't need another kit overview. We already know the kit overview. We need the multipliers. Anyways, so I don't know. I need background yap stream. Yeah, that's why I decided to stream. So when I woke up at 2 p.m. I was just like, frick, what do I do now? Because like 2 p.m. is not enough time to engage brain and then start streaming. It was not enough time to do a unit review stream properly. Like I wasn't gonna do a 3-hour sub 3-hour unit review stream. So I was like, okay, I can do what I'm doing now, or I could maybe just try to get the Kirara video done. Like it should take me probably 3 hours ish or less to finish the Kirara video. So like I could have made sure I got the Kirara video done and dusted, uploaded tomorrow kind of thing, right? That'd be cool. Or I could have like recorded the Pyro Traveler video. I don't know, maybe we could record the Pyro Traveler video live, because like now that I've woken up, my brain's fine right now, right? Like I have the energy right now to do things like that. So I don't know. Anyways, point is, thoughts on the 4-star lineups in the next banner. Did they announce them yet? I don't think they did. Which is a little annoying. I thought they were going to. Oh wait, they did. No, that's not. That's the current banner. You doofus brain. Maybe my brain is not awake. No, they did not officially announce them. I think from what we know is we don't know which for which. But Lynette, Layla. Let me just look it up. What was the supposed 4 stars that were and this is based on HomDGCat. HomDGCat has been getting this information from like data mined info from the game, and since they've been providing this information in the last little while, they've nailed it like every single time these 4 stars have rerun. But for 4 stars they never know the phase. So the phase is just like we can make educated guesses. But yeah, no map in 5.7, by the way, is definitely unfortunate. I talked a while ago how like it seemed like Natlan was just gonna have one less major exploration patch in the whole year based on how they were timing out things, and I hope that wasn't gonna be the case. Like what my hope was that they were gonna do like another back-to-back exploration patch, and that we just saw like an unusually large gap between like this area and then this area. But no, it seems like we're not having a summer event this year. Instead, they're just adding a permanent exploration content. But the total number of exploration patches for permanent exploration patches is the same per year. We're just not getting like the exploration from the summer event, which is so like, really? Wasn't the summer event like something that people was like loved? I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe though, to be clear, maybe in 5.8 we get the new permanent content and we get the summer event. Maybe. But I'm gonna guess they're not. Like, that would be a little weird, no? So anyways, like my expectation was, yeah, they're gonna do like exploration, whatever the final thing is in 5.7, because 5.6 doesn't really have exploration, right? It's mostly just story content with Mondstadt patch and whatever, that's fine. That's like normal alternation of like they do So, anyways, yeah, it's clear now based on that information. Well, assuming it's true, but it's likely true based on the timing. It seems like the release order is for exploration patches, like compared to Fontaine. I think it's easiest. So they did. Okay, I don't remember which patches, but I can remember the total number of patches in the year that they released exploration patches. So first Fontaine, right, was like was this section, right? And then was this one a whole separate patch? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this one is a whole separate patch too. I forgot about that. So they did a patch for this section, then they did this section, then they did this section. Oops. Then they did this section. So that's 3 patches for Fontaine, and they did Chen Yu Vale 4, and then there was this one 5. That was 5 patches with permanent content, and then plus the summer event, right? If I'm not wrong. So compared to Natlan, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5.8, it seems like, and presumably no summer event. So factoring, if you count the summer event as a exploration patch, that's 2 less exploration patches. Bruh. But there might be summer events still, to be clear. It would be a little bit, like, there's not confirmation that we're not getting a summer event. I just think it'd be a little bit weird if they overloaded exploration with 5.8 by having a summer event and exploration. Well, you know what? I guess it's possible that 5.7 has the summer event instead, and then 5.8 has an exploration patch. They could do that. I hope they do. So, but okay. So being optimistic, it's still 1 less exploration patch, right? Of course, it's not as simple as like, okay, whether or not there was exploration patches, like what is the total amount of like exploration was added? And I think the closest comparison you could have is like, okay, for measuring the total amount of exploration, is like how many Primo Gems were there in the quest. Like, yeah, I know they increased the amount of Primo Gems a little bit for exploration, but speaking of, they made a big, we're so amazing for increasing the amount of Primo Gems. We're so generous. Look at all these extra Primo Gems we're giving you for exploration. And then they reduced the total number of exploration? Like, that's my guess. My guess is the total number of, like, Primo Gems this year from exploration, including, like, the FOMO Gem BS that they've done. Like this stuff. Like, they're doing FOMO Gems for exploration now. But my guess is, because of the fact that they're doing a total less amount of exploration release this year, my guess is that the actual amount of Primo Gems we're getting from exploration in a year period is the same as it was in previous years, but they just decided to market it and trick you and turn it into more FOMO to try to make you think it's more. But I think it's exactly the same as my guess. Just more FOMO and more dense but less total areas. And I don't know, being that, like, I'm not playing just for the Primo Gems, I would rather have the same amount of Primo Gems over more exploration content, over like the same Primo Gems over more content, rather than less content with the same Primo Gems, right? Just like the bounties, wow, we get 1 million more for free. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, 1 million more for free for the bounties, except over the course of a year, the bounties could give you like 5 million more or something, if I recall. Okay, I didn't mean to be negative at the start of this, I'm sorry. But the more I think about the no map in 5.7, if there is no summer event, especially, but even if there is summer event, either way, I hadn't thought about this until this information that there's no map in 5.7. Like, either way, it's clear that there's less total number of exploration patches. And that it's just like a value equation of how much do you value this, with the way they've done exploration this year compared to previous years. And notably being that they've not done a non-Natlan big region. Like, man, last year did Chen Yu Vale and this one, which is like a Fontaine variant, but I don't know, this one like successfully felt really, really, the Underground Sea, right? This was great. Like, actual, like probably, like, I don't think about it that much. I need to finish doing it. I know it doesn't look like I've done much of it, but I fully 100%ed this in my other account. And I think I did the quest in both. I don't think I can do the quest. I kind of wish I hadn't done. This was a weird statement. I kind of want to do the quest again, which is the first time I've ever said. I think I've said that for a Genshin quest. I want to do the quest again. I could probably do it on my casual account. Anyways, like they managed to like, yeah, that's part of Fontaine, but like they made it feel like super distinct. I don't know if like Natlands felt the same way. Like I guess you could say they were going for the same. They're going for the same thing as the Sea of Remuria as they did with the Sacred Mountain, probably. And they kind of did the same thing, I guess. But I don't know. It just didn't land exactly the same for me. Like it was an enjoyable quest line and all that, but I don't know. I think it was probably the same approach there. But either way, there's a missing thing, and the obvious missing thing is that they did Chenyu Vale, they did their Chasm, they did their Dragon Spine last year. They chose to act this year, right? They axed this. That's I think the obvious thing they did, and they might be axing the summer event. I don't know. We don't know yet. Like if they're axing the summer event and they're axing like the additional non part of the main region edition, it just makes the exploration over the course of the year feel so much less interesting, right? Bongo Punk Cat is so dumb, yeah. Decided to give him some flashy blue hair to match the blue hair. So I don't know. I guess let me know what you think. Yeah, whatever. Sacred Mountain was not as good because there was basically nothing to do there once you finish the quest. That's kind of my vibe too. Like I have zero desire to finish. Like I know I got a little bit to do. I got two things, but like I feel like I barely did much exploration other than a little bit of exploration while doing the quest, and like there's nothing left to do. Like what? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's visually very pretty. You know, the press the button moment is enjoyable. I don't know. Can they add a 5.9 patch? I'm assuming they're not going to. I mean, it's possible. Okay, to be clear, they could call Node Cry and whatever onwards 5.9, 5.10, 5.11, 5.12. They don't have to go to 6.0. They don't have to. It's completely all just version naming number schemes. They could break that number scheme and go to 5.9 if they want to. But all that matters is how much stuff have they released in like a year, right? Even if they do change that naming scheme for their versions. So I don't know. Anyways, imagine the summer event is in Murray Javar. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Isn't that like supposed to be a wasteland, by the way? Isn't it described as a wasteland? I've seen like a little bit of lore snippets of it, right? Isn't it a desert patch? I might be. I don't know. So like that would be a little weird. The summer event was that. Again, being that the version 5.7 would line up in June. If 5.8 has exploration and 5.7 doesn't, they could easily do the summer event like early this year, which would be fine. I sincerely hope they are still doing a summer event though, even if it is like too much. Even if it is in 5.8 and that's just like 2 exploration things in one patch. So I don't know. They said they were changing the naming scheme from what would be 6.0 onwards from the pretentious version video. Yes, pretentious vision video. Yeah, I mean, yeah, which I don't like personally. Like, the reason they're doing that, I get it, is because the major version number is like aligned with regions being released, like new Archon aligned regions in Genshin. So maybe they're saving. So I don't know. Yeah, they're changing the numbering system. All that actually matters for how we evaluate the amount of content we got in this year is how much content did we get this year, right? How many exploration patches did we get this year? So anything after version, it's gonna be if they do go with like it's version 5.9, 5.10, 5.11, that's fine. It's going to be really annoying as far as separating out that time frame though, because we're going to have to now say, instead of me saying version 5.x patches for the Natlan patches, the year of Natlan patches, now we have to say 5.1 or 5.0 to 5.8, and then we have to say 5.9 to 5.16. Like, ugh. So I don't know. Thoughts on Bennett's kit? Seems a little overpowered. I'm concerned about the balance of the game moving forward. Um, actually, no. That actually wouldn't be the case. If they just released Bennett 2, literally Bennett 2, I mean, not like Eon's on. Eon's on is Bennett 2, but, actually literally Bennett 2. But Cryo at this point, then I'd be like, oh, cool. That makes the Scopia teams even more overpowered. Oh god, if they released Bennett 3 and it's literally just like Cryo Bennett, just copy paste, it's just Bennett but not Pyro, and he fits into Scopia teams, or like a Hydro or Cryo Bennett that could go into Scopia teams. Suddenly every Escoffier team is this new Bennett plus, well, not everyone because there's HP scaling DPSs, but many of them is Farina Escoffier plus new Bennett 3. Anyways, Bennett plus Bennett all woman remake, yeah. Oh yeah, what if Dahlia is? Oh god. Dahlia is a Hydro Sword. He's from Mondstadt. He's already a sword unit. I swear to... Oh god, crap. Guys, he might be. To be clear, all the information we have is supposedly he's increasing attack speed. But like, Dahlia will fit in Escoffier teams. A notable problem that Skirk might have is lack of attack buffing. It won't surprise me at all if this character is Bennett for Escoffier teams. Oh, f*** me. Like, we were just being silly. For some reason, I hadn't thought of it. I think it's very possible Dahlia quite literally might be Hydro Bennett. And probably won't apply shite for Hydro if they are, to be clear. But the intention will be to make Skirk's best team to be Escoffier, Skirk, Dahlia, Farina, right? Double Hydro, double Cryo. It's so very possible. It's already an assumption. It was already an assumption of mine that Dahlia was going to work in some way, that was the intended best team. At least with a C6 Dahlia. But I hadn't connected the dots before that Dahlia might fix I say fix as if this isn't a problem that needs to be fixed, because the amount of you could argue in the full Cryo Hydro context, the main reason, the big reason that Escoffier is as overpowered as she is because of the fact that when you're doing a full Hydro Cryo team, you don't have a Bennett buffer, you don't have a big attack buffer available, right? But I would argue that's not that doesn't whatever. Anyways, but it would be really stupid to give a Bennett tier or close to Bennett tier attack buff, I think, to an Escoffier team context. Because I think the main unit that pushes out for relevance in most... But, oh god, the thing is, this would fix so many of the problems. Where, like Wriothesley's best Escoffier team is Escoffier, Farina, Wriothesley, Yelan. You use an attack, like a Dahlia doing an attack buff instead, and then Wriothesley's team damage contribution jumps up a ton, right? And it probably will be the same team damage as the Yelan variant, but it'll actually feel like Wriothesley's doing a meaningful amount of the damage. It would fix that problem. Oh my god, I think Dahlia might be Hydro Bennett. Maybe the attack speed league is where they put Bennett's healing in the character kit budget. Yeah, exactly. This character's not going to have healing. He's not going to be literally Hydro Bennett. I'm just calling it now. I think this character's going to be Hydro Bennett. I think they probably won't apply much Hydro, because the main intention is to put them in Escoffier teams. And the sad part about this is going to kick out Shenhe. This is going to kick out Shenhe from most Escoffier teams. She was already not Shenhe was not the best teammate for Wriothesley Escoffier teams already. You could use it, but not the best option. That's the sad thing about this, in my opinion. Shenhe got the best character possible, and if Dahlia is an attack buffer, Shenhe's gone. She gone. Except if you're DPSing Shenhe herself, because you could do Farida, Escoffier, wait, no, that wouldn't work because you don't have a cryo infusion. You can't do Chongyun if you're, frick. I don't know. Like, Shenhe will still be a strong option, but if Dali's an attack buffer, there's going to be very, very little reason to get Shenhe. Like, Shenhe will probably maybe still be better for the Ayaka team. And I suspect, based on what Escoffier's cooldowns are, I don't think Shenhe... I'm... Again, like, I've talked about how I wouldn't be surprised if Sitlali C0, just because of TDDS and scroll buff, is better than Shenhe for Skirk teams, depending on what Skirk's cooldowns end up being, and whether or not Skirk is flexible to, like, do 2 E's on Shenhe per rotation, yada yada. But I don't know. Like, yeah, Shenhe not being able to sell... maybe C6 Dahlia gives a Hydro infusion, though. Maybe C6 Dahlia is just C6 Bennett, but Hydro. I would be a little sad because that's replacing some of the utility Candace has, but at the same time, more options for infusions would be wonderful. I love me some infusions. So, anyways, a little ball of yarn. How exciting! What if C6 Dahlia lets a character infuse with whatever their element is? That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Dolly is Bennett 3s, so I won't speculate about Skirk Luna. Look, sorry. There was someone else that gave me that inspired the idea in chat after I started memeing. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know. Look, if they're Hydro Bennett, I don't think they're going to be exactly Bennett. I want to emphasize that, but it would fix some of the unsatisfying nature of Escoffier's kit to me. When it comes to using certain units with her, like Wriothesley, where like Wriothesley's best Escoffier team is a team where he doesn't do that much of the team's damage, and you could slot him in for Kaya, and the team performs almost exactly the same, right? Arguably better in some ways because Kaya's off-field cryo definitely matters. Anyways, I could so easily see it. I'm gonna message Zajeff. He's not streaming anymore. I'm gonna send Zajeff a quick message. I'm gonna be like, yo, I have a prediction. My chat made me realize I think Dahlia is gonna be an attack buffer. Probably won't apply much Hydro. You know. But so restrictive in some form, right? But him being an attack buffer will likely fix Escoffier team's problems where units like Wriothesley and maybe Skirk, question mark, end up not really doing a lot of the team's damage. Dahlia being an attack buffer, even if only something like 600 attack, would significantly change that balance. Alright, there we go. Let the record stay. I've told Zajeff I think Dahlia is going to be an attack buffer. We'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, it makes too much sense. I think Dahlia is going to be an attack buffer. Like, the attack speed will be a minor benefit in their passive, but they're actually going to be an attack buffer. You know what? I'm down for it. I'm very down for a monster character not being garbage after 1.0. Like, to be clear, Mika has some niche utility, I want to emphasize, but... Wait, is he the only monster character that released since 1.0? He is. I was gonna say, like, what's the other one? I think he's the only one. Okay, well. Eula. I mean... Look, we like Eula. but she's not good. We need to acknowledge she's not that good. But she can work in Escoffier teams and fully enable the passive. Whee! Except it's only Hydro and Cryo Red Shred. It's not physical Red Shred, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, but it's still better than normal Eula teams. Let's be real. Because that's how Escoffier teams. Oh, Rosaria is technically after too, but okay. Rosaria was definitely in the 1.0 character category in my brain. Even though she's not version 1.0. When did she release? Where is she? Am I blind? There she is. Yeah, she released with Hu Tao. Okay. I think it was like 1.3, 1.4 maybe. I'm pretty sure it was 1.3 though. Albedo was 1.2. Yeah. So I don't know. It was, but that was still a Mondstadt year though. The only character that came out after 1.x, like the 1.x patches that was Mondstadt, is Mika, right? At the very least. But either way, I don't know. Mika was the last Mondstadt character we got, and you know that I realized that Mika was giving me some negative bias, I think, towards what Dahlia might be. And the fact that I felt like, oh, a 4-star Hydro from Natlan could have been cool, actually, because, hey, if they do okay Hydro application and have scroll set buff, that's like a 4-star Farina, and that's a good thing. But instead, this character might just be Hydro Bennett. And, yeah. Anyways. We should spend our resin. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get Varka soon, TM. I mean, they're teasing him. There's no way he's not a playable unit if they're teasing him like that. Well, okay. I say that, and I think they kind of did they do the same thing for Capitano? And any assumptions that Capitano are going to be a playable unit are more in Cope territory. So, I don't know. What kind of stat requirement they're going to give Dahlia? 800% energy recharge at C0. 200% energy recharge at C6. To be clear, it won't surprise me at all if my theory of Dahlia technically only being Skirk's best in slot teammate at C6 ends up being true. That wouldn't surprise me. I certainly hope it's... I don't want the monkey's paw situation where I'm correct about Dahlia being an attack buffer, but it's like C6 Dahlia is a 60% attack buff, right? If C6 Dahlia is a 60% attack buff, that would be about what I was hoping, or what I was estimating for, I mean, for attack buffing. But, I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. Enough yapping about the potential Dahlia being a Bennett. I'm just saying, there's not really much reason for them not to do yet another, like, if they've done Bennett 2, and they figured out, like, what they wanted their balance for making variations of Bennett to be, which is, like, yeah, have close to the same amount of buffing potential, but, like, more restrictive. That's basically what Eon Son is, right? Like, Eon Son can reach the near full buffing potential of Bennett and be slightly better in some circumstances. But now that they're fine with, you know, the potential of 2 meaningful attack buffers in the same team, what is the reason for them not to do a third, right? In fact, there's less balance worry, I think, from them doing a third. So, I don't know. I think it's very easily possible that Dahlia, and they're just going to restrict Dahlia in some way, right? Like, Dahlia is not going to be as universal as Bennett is, but I don't know. I think it's so very possible. And I hadn't really seriously considered the potential, because we just got Bennett 2. We just got Bennett 2, so I wasn't really feeling the need to get Bennett 3, right? But there's, like, no downside to them releasing Bennett 3 anymore. Oh, no. Oh, this may just... They're releasing, supposedly, the new Abyss that needs 3 teams is coming out. 3 teams. Three teams means there's kind of a need for Bennett 3. Bro, the more I think about it, the more it's just like... You mentioned that earlier, I missed it. The more I think about it, the more I just like, yeah. But Dahlia's an attack buffer. What if he's an HP buffer? I mean, Skirk is not HP scaling, from what we know, so that would be wild. How did this conversation start, by the way? Oh yeah, I had a Homcat open for the 4 stars. Let me look at that again. Oh yeah, so the 4 stars: Layla, Lynette, Sara, Toma. Okay, so Toma and Sara are 100% on the Raiden Kenichi banner. Toma is there for an off-field pyro that's decent with Kenichi. Sara is always a Raiden. So Layla is obviously on a Escoffier. They want a generic unit there. Lynette is a crapshoot. So one weird thing is like they've also ran Chevreuse consistently with Raiden since Chevreuse's release, but they just ran Chevreuse with Veressa, so it'd be a little weird for them to rerun Chevreuse again. But at the same time, I could easily see them. I don't think they are. Is my point. The fact that they're now just rerunning Chevreuse on whatever Electro Pyro DPS banner now means I think they're not going to always put her on Raiden banner, especially if they just reran her. But it wouldn't be a bad thing. It would make the banner better. But I don't think they're going to. It's been a while since Bennett ran, so I actually think Bennett is overdue for a rerun. I think the better banner to put him on is the Escoffier Navia banner, which has IFA guarantee, by the way. So that would make the banner Layla, Bennett, IFA, which is a bit meh. Now, realistically, Bennett's going to be in the second half, right? No, Official's not going to be on these banners. There's not enough synergy with the units. You got to realize so much. So the point being, there's one mystery unit. There's one mystery unit. We know Aoife is first half, and we know Lynette, Layla. Layla is almost assuredly first half, and then we know Lynette, Sara, Toma. So realistically, probably, oh man, double Animo though. Why would they do double Animo with Navia and Escoffier running? That seems garbage, right? Like Lynette, Layla, Aoife. Normally they try to make at least like 2 of the 4 stars be compelling teammates for some combination of the 5 stars on banner. Usually, so like my expectation would have been like, hey, Sing Cho rerunning instead of Layla, instead of Lynette. And then like Escoffier banner could have been Sing Cho, Layla, Aoife. It would have been a garbage Navia banner, but shenanigans with Aoife? Not really, other than just like reaction shenanigan teams. Like he should be fun. I think he'll be more fun than Mizuki. I plan to mess around with him on my mods account, Sylveon's account. Yeah, Singcho can be okay with Navia, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe Singcho is just the mystery character, and it's Singcho, Layla, Aoife. Like if they really don't release if they don't put a Hydro 4-star, like, which would make sense to be Singcho, they could do Candace instead, but like, it probably makes sense to be Singcho. If they don't put a Hydro 4-star with Escoffier, that'd be a dick move, I think. But I could also see them not doing that though, just because of how hard designed around Escoffier for Arena is and how many people have Arena. And like, is it a dick move not to put any Hydro unit on Escoffier's banner? Yes. But their intention may also be with the, Dahlia, who might be an attack buffer, a 4-star releasing with Skirk, that, hey, you get your Hydro 4-star for Escoffier team's next patch anyways. So you know what? I'm going to guess Singcho's not rerunning. I'm going to guess the mystery 6 unit for a 4-star is Bennett. And then it's just a question of, okay, it's going to be Layla, Aoife first half. So is it going to be Bennett in the first half or Bennett in the second half? I would say Bennett arguably is better to rerun in the first half because you will play Escoffier and Bennett in similar teams together. Because Escoffier has utility outside of Hydro Cryo teams. And Bennett is one of the units that you could use with her to get really big melt damage. So like, honestly, I actually think Bennett should be the one that should be released there. Xiangling because chefs together. I mean, that could be. But you're not going to have as compelling a reason normally to pair those 2 units. You can, though. I will on polearms only, don't worry. So okay, what I think they're going to, okay. I think they're gonna. Okay. So what I think they're gonna do for the 4-stars in the banner, I think they're gonna make it trash. So my actual prediction is Aoife, Layla, Lynette. The 4-stars in the banner are just gonna be bad. They're just gonna be bad. And then second half will be Bennett, Sarah, Toma. Right. Because Bennett for Raiden, Bennett for Kaniche, Toma for Kaniche, Toma for Chevrolet's Raiden teams, Sarah for Raiden, right. Like, it's smart 4-star balance for the second half. And then the first half is just make it a garbage banner because they know everyone's pulling for a Escoffier for Skirk anyways, and that's the intention. Lanyan? Oh my god. Okay, look. If there was a surprise Lanyan instead of Bennett, I'd be over the moon. If anything could cause me to get C2 Raiden, is Lanyan rerunning on Raiden's banner. I suspect that wouldn't happen, but it's like it's been long enough that it's possible it happens, right? What is wrong with your build right now? What happened? Oh, I know what happened. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, don't worry about it. The key robber took her circlet. 441 EM. That's not what was wrong. That's normal. That's just Staff of Scarlet Sands hybrid riding things. Anyways, Lanyan is kind of trash with Navia, though. This is true. So like, it doesn't. The Lanyan rerun wouldn't make sense. I could see Lanyan much more likely on Skirk banner than any banner this patch. So, anyways, I want Eons on. Actually, unironically, yes. Well, obviously, it's probably not going to happen. If Mihoyo wants to throw a bone to the community, they should rerun Eons on already. But anyways, I'm gonna predict, yeah, Layla, Lynette, Aoife, which is just a blech banner in the first half, and then Bennett, Toma, Sarah second half. There you go. Anyways, what's my resource situation? I have, okay, so that is, I'm struggling with the math here. Divide this by 4. This is 450 about. Is about 450 heroes with. So that's equivalent to 600 and 650, close enough. 650 is obviously enough to get a Escoffier to level 80. That is enough to get. Let me check my list. Sorry. Sorry, I just looked at my phone to grab my planner for like what I needed for Heroes Wits. My grandma disliked a response to her. I have a notification on my phone saying grandma disliked. I don't know if I've ever seen a message on my phone that feels like I said something wrong. Then grandma disliked. Oh, that's really funny. Maybe they should try being less fascist. That's not what she disliked. She disliked the fact that I said I will try to come to Mother's Day. So she disliked it could have been a mishit too. I said I will try to come to Mother's Day because I wasn't gonna commit to it. Sorry. I don't know. Anyways, and yes, part of the reason I don't really want to interact with my family right now is because they're a little bit too fascist. To say the least is what I will say. Just to keep things simple. Without getting overly messy in the conversation. Oh yeah, I was gonna pull out the Heroes Wits breakdown. I plan to go to Mother's Day. That's the intention, but also we'll see. But so for some context, by the way, and again, my grandma, for every like family gathering thing, and this has never happened in the past, including when Trump got elected before. This is just how brainwashed these people are, quite frankly. And I wish I could convince them to see the harm that their alignment to him is doing to the world, but I've given up trying. And you know, I've never been someone who's like brings up politics during family gatherings. I tend to be someone who just sits up and doesn't talk at shuts up and doesn't talk at family gatherings because I don't feel like talking to people in that side of my family, but I still go to the family gatherings. And since November, what my grandma has texted me and my brother every single time has been, "You are invited to insert family gathering here." We have never once in our fucking life had to be invited to that side of my family's family gathering. It was a default, we go. The very fact that she's been messaging us, "You are invited," has caused me to be like, I don't want to go. Like, actually, you. So, yeah, sorry. That's why she's getting non-committal answers from me, like, I will try to go to Mother's Day. So, you know, look, she earned it herself, is my point. Anyways, so to try to explain that I'm not just being a dick to my grandma. She's being a dick to us. So I'm not going to commit to, yes, I'm just going to go pretend everything's hunky-dory with them supporting a fascist regime. And I wasn't even planning to talk about it because even though I think that arguably I contributed to the problem by not trying to change their minds maybe, like, yeah, I value our family cohesion when it comes to family gatherings. But if you're going to try to say I'm invited to it when I've never had to before, F you, is my overall feeling. Which I'm not having said to her face, but, you know, tempted. Anyways. Yeah, so... what? Boy, yay, politics. Speaking of, I was very tempted, but I decided, funnily enough, I was going to look at the Heroes Wits. I decided... I was originally going to title this stream, like, I had concepts of a plan today, but I was like, I don't want to get people to talk. I don't want to accidentally turn this into politics talk, even if it's just vague politics of talk, and it's just making a joke by saying I have concepts of a plan, or I had concepts of a plan. Sorry, the original title was going to be, I thought I had a plan, but I guess they were just concepts. That's what the original title was going to be, but I decided not to because of that, and now I'm talking about it anyways. Dang it. Anyways, is Dahlia Bennett 3.0? Yeah, there we go. Let's go talk about Dahlia being attack buffer instead. Heroes Wits. Let me look at my freaking plan. Okay. Oh yeah. So Traveler to 90, which I still haven't done. Was intending to just do this like 2 weeks ago. So Traveler to 90. Chungyun to 80, which, I guess we can do that today. I'll just target these right now. I'm done with doing this. Why is it targeting the chasm first? Ew. And then Farazan to 90 and Escoffier to 80, which is, by my calculation, 728 Heroes Wits is what I need. And then I'm going to need to farm ley lines next patch too for various characters. But just the characters I intend to need resources for right now. So that means I should really just continue farming ley lines. I should continue farming ley lines right now. I thought Dahlia buffed attack speed. San Francisco, do you really think that Dahlia's entire kit is just buffing attack speed? Like, he's gonna do more than buffing attack speed, yo. Also, half the time when we get those nonsense stupid leaks before the actual beta, they're just like, the reason they're saying Dahlia buffs attack speed is probably because that leaker got information that, like, Dahlia's passive buffs attack speed. Like, there's a very good chance that Dahlia has a passive saying it buffs attack speed. Right? But he probably does more than just buffing attack speed. And what the tangent we got into earlier was the realization that, oh, Dahlia being... There's not much reason for them not to make Dahlia an attack buffer, because it's clear with Eons on now that, like, now that they've already done Bennett 2, and they've set their balance where, like, it's just, if they're going to do Bennett variants, they just make them restrictive in some form. So they can make Dahlia restrictive in some form. They can make Dahlia Bennett 3, restrict their utility in some form or another. And if Dahlia is Bennett 3, it solves a core problem I have with a number of Escoffier teams. And I think a core problem a lot of people are going to have with Escoffier teams, which is that things like Wriothesley Escoffier teams are great for Wriothesley technically, except Wriothesley is doing 25% of the team's damage because you're doing Wriothesley, Yelan, Escoffier, Farina. Also, that's a freaking 4 or 5-star team. 1, that's a lot of 5 stars. 2, that's a lot of burst animations. Ugh. Like it'd be slideshow impact team. Like I would not enjoy playing that team, quite frankly. Too much slideshow impact. And I don't know. Anyways, point being, just because Dahlia is not a Natlan 4-star doesn't mean they're bad. I think there's too many people that are assuming Dahlia is just going to be bad. And the realization that there is a significant value, even if it causes a problem of like getting rid of Shenhe in many team contexts. I think there's significant value to be gained from Dahlia being Bennett 3 for the context of Escoffier teams. So I don't know. We'll see. Ganyu doesn't have a great 4 slot either, other than Shenhe. Yeah. So anyways. So I could easily see it. I suspect if Dahlia is Bennett 3, they're not going to do much Hydra application. They're not going to have healing in their kit, almost assuredly, because their intention is going to be with the Escoffier. They probably won't have really anything in defensive utility meaningfully. It's probably just going to be like attack buffing attack speed. That's my vote. That's my vote for what Dahlia is going to be. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. All right. Okay, so I said I was going to do ley lines, but we're going to... Oh, that's the core lapis. We're going to do... we're going to do 1 resin. We gotta engage streamer luck, right? We gotta engage streamer luck and get tenacity done with Farina. Right. So I don't know. Like, as soon as I realized that, I was like, wait. And I really don't think, like... Because in the past, it'd be like, okay, I can get why they aren't releasing Bennett 2, because they don't want to allow 2 Bennetts to be possible in the same team. They don't want 2 Omega attack buffers in the same team. Well, they already did Bennett 2. You can do Eons on Bennett together. Right? And it's a strong combo. So, yeah, anyways, we understand, right? I think there's very little reason. And there is less significant of a problem, I think, from 3 Bennetts existing than there is from 2 Bennetts existing. Going from 1 Bennett to 2 Bennetts is more significant of a change, like as far as meta and team building, compared to going from 2 Bennetts to 3 Bennetts, right? And the new Abyss variant of being 3 teams required, also I feel like makes sense why they might release Bennett 3. I don't know. Anywho's. I would have you review my Tenacity Farina if this was a unit review stream. Lito, if you want to get you're a member, if you want to get your, actually, I don't know if I can like make this an obvious member privilege, but you know what? I'm just gonna say this is a member privilege. Members, within reason, if you're a channel member, you can request a unit review stream, or not a unit review stream. You can request randomly a unit review from me for 1 character, not like look at all my characters and look at my character for 30 minutes, but members. At random, within reason, because I have enough memory to probably recognize whether you're abusing this power. You're a member. You can request me to review your character. So, yeah, there you go, Lito. If you want me to look at your Tenacity Farina, I will look at it. And same thing for other members. Although, I'm gonna have to put a stopping point on it for this stream, where I don't know how many members are watching the stream right now. If there's like 20 members that all want me to look at their units. Then this stream just suddenly becomes a unit review stream anyways, and that was not my intention. I do want to finish some things today. But I will say, I will give that as a member power moving forward, is members can request I review their characters, and I will try to make sure I look at their characters, as long as it makes sense to do in the context of whatever I'm streaming. Particularly streams like this one, where they're not really focused on anything in particular. So, anyways. Yeah, maybe do 2 or 3 of those a day. Yeah, that's probably a good line. I'll say, like, I can look at least 3 member units per stream kind of thing. So, anyways. Circle impact, fitness impact, normal attack, spam impact, yeah. You're a member of the current stream. Can you have a review? That's not how this works, Starshade. So, anyways. What are we talking about? Who's the third banner? Oh, we were talking about Labyrinth Unicorn. We were talking about Dahlia being a potential third banner. We don't know for sure, but anyways. Will I stream my reaction to the 5.6 Archon quest? Probably, yeah. Because while I certainly plan to do plenty of testing for Escoffier, I actually am quite looking forward to the story quest. So yes, I plan to do the story quest the first week for once. Normally I don't. Wow, I said I was only going to spend 1 resin. Brain. Brain. What are you doing? What are you doing? Whatever. Yeah. I'm computing whether or not. Okay, the thing is, great. See, now I'm logicking my way. Like, I don't have enough heroes wits right now to afford leveling all 4 of those characters that I wanted to level, but I do have enough for 3 out of 4, and it's really just Farazan's level 90ing that I'm delaying, because Farazan is like 1/4 of the cost, and I could just ignore Farazan for a little while. So, you know what? Screw it. I'm already here. We engage streamer luck. I should have known this. I should have spent. Yeah. If I do this in the future, if I say I'm going to spend 1 resin in an artifact domain and the rest on ley lines in the future, I want you guys to hold me to it. That, like, hey, go farm the ley lines first and then spend the 1 resin in the domain. Because I feel like this has now happened twice, where I was like, I'm going to do this, and then I come to the domain, I'm just like, I'm going to spend all my resin here. Anyways, game audio echoing. Oh crap, I forgot to mute the thing. How's it really? Okay, the only reason people I think didn't notice is because I wasn't actually playing the game for a long time. Oops, my bad. Why'd you tell him? Yeah, no, I fixed it. Oh, look at that. Is that better hair? I mean, I guess that it contrasts more. Anyways, go do ley line. No, I mean tell me in the future to go do ley lines before I go in the domain. My point is, I already convinced myself to spend my resin here today after I came here. My point is to tell me in the future if I have the idea of where I had today, where I was like, I'm gonna spend 1 resin here. Just tell me to do that after I do ley lines, not before. 'Cause that's the problem. That's the problem. But I don't regret it because we're gonna get flower. No, never mind. We're gonna get an HP % double crit goblet with ER. I mean, I'll lock it. So anyways, Lito Hat, do you want me to look at your tenacity for now? I'll look at your tenacity for now. Your birthday was today? Okay, was is a past tense word. So, your birthday was today means your birthday was in the past, but it also is still today. So happy birthday ? Indeed. All right. How do I drop my UID? Just by just by trying to drop your UID. I don't know. Your birthday was earlier today, but it's still your birthday if it's still today, right? Because if it's not today anymore, then you would say my birthday was yesterday. So, I don't know. My birthday was today. Oh, yeah, I guess my birthday was today does make sense in the context of saying, yeah, my birthday, like the day I was actually born was today, as in, but like the day I was actually born was, you know, X amount of years ago, because that was technically your birthday, right? You weren't born today, probably. Statistically, most of your birthdays, as we socially recognize them, you're not born on. So, like, saying your birthday was today in the context of, like, the day you were literally born it makes sense on an English level, I guess. So, anyways, happy birthday, I guess. Whatever, literal or non-literal birthday. Okie dokie. These are both the pieces that are key pieces for me. Because like I have a cracked offset goblet that I'm more than happy to continue using. A good circlet and a good flower is kind of like the end point for my Farina. We can fully engage streamer luck here. I saw your UAD, Lito. Thank you. If that was a 4-line double crit, maybe. Okay. I believe. I believe in it. I believe. Or maybe you're thinking too much? No. Nonsense. There's no such thing as overthinking. Alright, I believe. I no longer believe. Do I still level it? The question I have in my head is like, if this rolls heavily crit rate, is there a reality where this piece rolling like 15% crit rate enables a off-piece crit damage circlet? There might be. What does that have to have? Okay, so we can simulate. Crit damage circlet. I don't have a crit damage circlet in Tenacity yet, right? But let's simulate as if it's a circlet like with 3 crit rate rolls like this. And then we equip this. So we add like, 3 crit rolls at least to this. So, add 10% crit rate to this. Is that, that's a very acceptable build. Okay. Yeah. If this rolls a few times in a crit, that's a very acceptable build. Okay. Alright, I'm down. I'm down with this artifact still, actually. It has to roll basically entirely into crit rate, to be clear. And yeah, I leveled this yesterday. It rolled like an artifact for Eula. That is getting thrown away. You were so close to being something that makes me happy, but you are not. Well, I guess we continue the farming for Farina into the future. Yay, Tenacity Farina, not done yet. All right. Okay, let me look at a Tenacity Farina build that's presumably gonna make me jealous, or maybe it's just really bad. But okay, so the funny thing with the Tenacity Farina is like even a bad Tenacity Farina can have the potential to be better than a good Tenacity build, because just essentially any team context where Farina is not doing majority of the team's damage, not with Neuvillette, Tenacity Farina tends to be better, right? Which is most non-Neuvillette Farina teams essentially. But anyways, let me see. Enka.network. Select browser window. BAP. That's a little tiny. It's because my window itself is kind of small. Bam. Okay. That's a little big. Okay. We're looking at Tenacity Farina. Okay, Fav, C0, Tenacity. This, it's actually just a normal Tenacity Farina. It looks relatively similar to mine. With more ER, which arguably is better. Yeah. It's basically my Tenacity Farina with a tiny bit more crit damage for reference. If you want to see my Tenacity Farina right now. Blap. So more crit rate, a little bit less ER, a little bit less crit damage, right? A little bit more HP too, I think. Yeah, a little bit more HP. So, mine I think is a bit better on a damage value for sure. But not like, oh my gosh, this is a completely different experience level necessarily. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd say you're in my Tenacity Farina are in a fairly similar state. Do you need to improve it? That's up to you. Like I've said before how like my stopping point is getting like my ideal stopping point is having like about 80% crit rate with 150% crit damage. That's what would make my monkey brain happy. But and that's part of why like, hey, looking at what I was looking at before with that flower, right? If that flower rolled like 15% crit rate and then I could use a crit damage circlet, suddenly bam, I could have like a compelling a Tenacity Farina build that was a better balance for me, right? That could be one of my paths to success. So, anyways, R3 Fab is sad. I mean, it's you got to conserve your Fab Sword is one of the Fab Sword and Fab Lance, the most important Fab weapons, and you kind of got to conserve them. You don't want to be too aggressive with fronting them potentially. So, yeah. Anyways, I wouldn't say you should never refine Fab Swords because, like, it is really nice having like a guaranteed Fab trigger versus a non-guaranteed. But you definitely have to get a lot of Fab Swords before you can consider that. Like, I would personally would keep at least 3 R1 Fabs swords. Same thing with lances before you consider refining at all, and then you can refine, right? But yeah. Anyways, yeah. For Farina in particular, Farina is such a good Fab trigger. Yeah, that R3 versus R5 shouldn't be that meaningful of a difference maker because you do Farina EQ. And she's a crit rate ascending character anyways who you normally build for damage. So you do Farina EQ, and she has her skill cast hit, and then all 3 of her summons will hit the enemy in the time frame of her burst hitting. So in the time frame of doing EQ, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instances of damage that all have a chance to crit and trigger Fab. Like, a low refined Fab still is a good option for Farina. So for units, and if you're trying to like prioritize, oh, who do you put a high if you happen to have like 2 R1 Fabs and an R3 Fab, do you give Farina the low refined Fab and then someone else the high refined Fab? Potentially yes, if they have less chance of triggering a crit hit or less total numbers of hits. I would give Farina the low refined Fab and your other unit the higher refined Fab. Fab refines have higher value on units that do less instances of hits when they are on field. So yeah. Anyways. You had your account since launch and have no Fab swords? That's extremely sad. What horrible reality have you fallen into, Labyrinth Corn? I would just delete your account, honestly. Like, I don't know if I'd be... I'm joking. But... Oh, you only started regularly playing like a year ago. Okay, that makes more sense. That's a Jeff reality. Yeah, I mean... I said before how like Zajeff had enough spare Primo Gems. I think he's been a little bit more aggressive with using them with the Natlan characters, but Zajeff has enough spare Primo Gems that I unironically think there are some weapon banners that would have made sense for Zajeff to pull on, just for the purpose of trying to get more Fab weapons. But yeah, not many, but like when you get the magic weapon banners that, you know, there's 2 5-star weapons that can be valuable to your account, and like for characters that you like playing, that is, right, which just depends on the banner for your account, so there's no universal situation. And there's a bunch of Fabs on the banner when you need options for Fab weapons. Like, I actually do think at high investment levels, even if you're free to play, just because if you've been playing for a long time, it can make sense to eventually wish a bit on the weapon banner. I do not have a hard line stance of it never makes sense to wish on weapon banner, but anyways. But yes, don't refine your Fab swords unless you have, in my opinion, at minimum 3. But you could also be even more conservative than that and save like 4 just in case. Because you might be in a circumstance like my Polearm only account is in, where like, just in case, I have 7. And you might be like, 7 is really excessive. But remember, theater exists. That makes things annoying, having to constantly equip for theater. And 2, I have actively needed to use 6 Fab Lances at once on Polearms only. I don't think I've had many circumstances where I needed 7. But I have had enough where I needed to use 6 that I kept a 7th just in case. before I felt comfortable refining. And now Polearms only has existed enough that I've been able to, you know, get some refinements going, which is nice. I think I have 2 R5 Fab Lances now. What a world. Or actually, no. I think I have 1 R5 Fab Lance and 2 R3 Fab Lances on Polearms only, if I recall. I'd have to go double check. I can't remember. Speaking of, I really hope we are going to wish for a Scofia's weapon, because it's a Polearm only account, not on my main account. I'm Polearms only. I sincerely hope Fab Lance is on that banner. I will be a sad boy if it's Dragon's Bane. I feel like it might be Dragon's Bane because Mihoyo likes to troll. But you know. Okay, no. You know what? No, I'm gonna cope for Fab on Escoffier banner because Fab is realistically one of Escoffier's better 4-star weapon options in a lot of team contexts. You might be like, really? Really? It is? Yep. It's... Remember, they haven't released a 4-star craftable polearm, so your choice is either, like, a Blackcliff pole, which is kind of meh, but she has energy needs, so, like, you can have situations where Fav is much more meaningful than than Blackcliff for Escoffier, and she is helped by the fact that, you know, the event weapon recently released, which is a compelling 4-star weapon for her, but it's an event weapon. Like, there's no universally accessible 4-star compelling weapon for Escoffier other than Blackcliff pole, but Blackcliff pole is kind of poopy. Yes, you should probably just use Jade Spear or Serpent Spine if you have it on Escoffier, most likely, I would say. My point is like, Fab being relevant for Escoffier as one of her relevant 4-stars and being much more relevant than the what's it called? The Dragon's Bane, which is the other 4-star Gacha polearm that shows up on Weapon Banner most often, because there's only 2 that are non-Gacha Banner exclusives. And they could do something like, yeah, rerun the Shovel. The Shovel at High Refine is from what I saw a pretty good weapon option for Escoffier. But I think it would be better if they put Fab on the banner. So I sincerely hope Fab lands on the banner, and Dragon's Bane can be on the Raiden weapon banner anyways, because, hey, Dragon's Bane is one of Raiden's best weapons. Sorry, but it is. Anyways. But we'll see. She doesn't have energy needs if you run another healer. This is true. Yes, this is true. Well, but also, like, her burst is pretty a good amount of damage. So, like, it's not horrible to spec into consistently getting her burst in most Escoffier teams. Like, sacrificing some skill damage for bursting is not a complete loss, because it's 1,000% damage multiplier, right? So, anyways. What do you mean she could use Serpent Spine? Did I say Serpent Spine? If I said Serpent Spine, that was a slip up. I probably meant Skyward Spine, the polearm 5-star weapon. Is the catch bad? I probably wouldn't use the catch. No, the catch is a bad fav for Escoffier, because it has it's just going to be worse for her skill damage and only better for her burst damage. Like, I don't know, if you need the energy, is it terrible for her? Particularly in context, I don't know, like, if you're using the catch on Escoffier in the context of, like, a Moeka team, I think it's kind of an interesting option, actually. Because if you're trying to use Escoffier as a melt enabler for Moeka, it seems like it should be, unlike Arlecchino, where you can get away with not, where you should be able to get away with not bursting on Escoffier. For Moeka, you should have to burst. You should need that burst cryo application to get the melts to work properly, from what we understand about her cryo application, at least. Yes, Deathmatch is like the main 4-star option you should probably use in Escoffier, although she has a potential crit rate overcapping problem depending on your artifacts, but it just depends. Most likely it shouldn't be a problem unless the game trolled you and gave you like 20 or 10%, 12%, 15% crit rate in every single one of your golden true pieces. So yeah, Royal Spear is a good option, but again, it's another freaking, it's like, from what I could tell, Royal Spear is the normal situation where, like, Royal Spear is best with the lower investment build. The higher investment your build is, the more crit substats your build has, the less relevant Royal Spear is. But it's an okay option, yes. What was it saying? Oh yeah, so an emblem catch build on Escoffier in a Moeka team context, I think actually kind of might make sense. Because I think you'll see more value from focusing on, like, her front-loaded melt damage if you do, like, you know, Bennett EQ into Sitlali, or sorry, instead of Sitlali. So this is like the context of using her as an alternative. So if you're doing Bennett, Escoffier, Chilonen, Moeka, this is the main context where I think this makes sense, because you do like Moeka E into Chilonen, into Bennett EQ, and then into Escoffier EQ instead of Sitlali, because you don't have her, presumably is why you're doing this. And this is a team context where, like, Moeka does so much stupid melt damage that, like, speccing into Escoffier's additional skill damage is not going to meaningfully change the experience of using the team, but having a little bit more front-loaded damage potential might make sense, and Escoffier's energy needs are going to be pretty high for that team, and you should have to burst. So doing like a 200 ER catch build on 4-piece emblem on Escoffier and getting a like 200k whatever melt. I don't feel like doing the calcs for this right now, but I'm just going to guess it's at least a 200k melt from her burst. Has probably more value than doing a normal skill damage build is my guess. Even if it doesn't like show up like that on paper, I think in practice it'd be better. So there are contexts where the catch can make sense on Escoffier, but I think they're quite relatively limited. And I'd probably just use Fav instead. Because Fav will be almost about the same experience in the same context. So, yeah. Anyways. It pains me deeply people want to use Iced Kofi as a freeze saver. She's not a freeze saver. Escoffier teams are not freeze teams. They're Escoffier teams. She literally doesn't require freeze at all. She's less... Like, look, we didn't say Chevreuse saved Overload. Because Chevreuse didn't save Overload. Chevreuse made Electro... Pyro... Full teams of Electro Pyro a unique thing. Chevreuse teams made Chevreuse teams. Chevreuse didn't change Overload. And Escoffier uses... But, like, at least Chevreuse requires Overload as a mechanical component. Like, you have to think about triggering an Overload at minimum before doing things. And because Overload does damage... Chevreuse Res Shred does increase Overload damage. Freeze doesn't do any damage. So, Escoffier literally doesn't buff Freeze at all. And her kit literally doesn't even require 3 Freeze. She literally can be played with 4 Cryo units and get the same total buffing value. She doesn't use Freeze at all. Her kit does not care about Freeze at all. The only reason people are calling it Freeze is because of the fact that it's Ayaka, really. And the fact that this is a new good Ayaka team. And... oh, you're playing a Hydra unit, therefore freeze, LOL. And because people are coping that freeze exists. Freeze does not exist. It's not... like, nothing has changed about freeze. It's an Escoffier team. Don't call it freeze teams. They're Escoffier teams. I'm sorry. Anyways. Don't forget to do Leylines. Dude, I can't do Leylines. I use my resin. I said remind me in the future. I said in the future. Anyways. Yeah, Chevreuse invented Pyro Electro teams. Escoffier took a bat to Freeze's knees and sold the wheelchair, pretty much. By the way, the only real reason that, like, Freeze will be happening in Escoffier teams is just because of the fact that Freenet exists. Like, if Freenet didn't exist, there's much more compelling reasons to do full cryo teams that literally don't have any freeze at all. But Freenet exists, and Freenet's overpowered and broken, and Escoffier was made to be broken in conjunction with Freenet. So the two of them together are especially overpowered. So, of course, the default core is Escoffier Freenet. So that's why, you know, yeah, you will, generally speaking, have freeze technically happening, except bosses exist, and, like, they didn't change anything fundamentally about how freeze works at all to actually make freeze relevant, and they could have. They could have done very minor changes to freeze to actually make freeze a little mechanically relevant in Escoffier's kit, but they didn't. They actively chose not to. It's not freeze teams. It's even less, it's less freeze teams than Chevreuse teams or Overload teams. Chevreuse teams can at least spec into Overload damage in some form as an optimal path, because you can get Overload damage to like 30k off field, and that's quite significant. Like, in a Xiangling in a Chevreuse team oftentimes has her best build being a full EM build, which is really funny. So, you know, I don't know. We don't call Chevreuse teams Overload teams because they're not that focused on Overload usually. We sure as hell shouldn't call Escoffier teams freeze teams. Anyways. What did I say I was going to do today? What? Oh boy. I need to do this. Oh, good. I'm glad I clicked that. Okay, we're going to go do this. And do the best content in the game. I mean, look, Prick Breaker event is fine. I have no qualms against it. Leylines. I know you're just trolling me, so I should stop engaging. But, anyways. It's voiced. I'm aware. Yeah, we need to do this on all 3 accounts. So, sorry, we're going to do Brick Breakering for a little while. But it shouldn't take that long, realistically. By the way, I can only stream for like an hour and a half more, because I stream late and I have D&D. But anyways. Oh, dialogue's off. Oops. The reason dialogue is off is because I had Lanyon AFK in the background for that stupid wishing video. Which, by the way, that wishing video, like, it was an experiment, one, to see what would happen. Like, I decided from the start that I would think it would be more interesting to do it like fully the way through, because like when I was thinking about recording, I was like, okay, I can't even envision how this would be edited down anyways, so why bother? Like an edited version of that video would be like 10 minutes shorter maybe, right? Like just cutting out some like minor gaps and like minor fluff and things I was saying, like maybe 20-30 minutes shorter if I'm being really aggressive with cutting things. But like if you watch the whole video, you probably know that like the wishing video, I could have put extra effort into editing it, like as far as all I did for editing, by the way, was add that text in the beginning and then do some very minor cutting in the very beginning because I yapped for a little too long about certain things. But anyways, like it was so much Gamba, and I figure, you know what, this is just the Gamba video to be all Gamba. Let it just be a 2-hour Gamba fest, and let it be what it is. And it was a bit of an experiment to see whatever, and it has performed okage, like not very well. Like it's in some ways, I think this was the most likely reality of the video. I haven't checked. One weird things with long videos is even if they have lower views, they could have more revenue if people are watching it the full way through. I suspect most people aren't watching it the full way through. But anyways, the Gamba was no fun anymore by the end. The Lanyan situation was insane. But yeah, I could have like put better statistics or whatever, or like done like, okay, gone and analyzed the full data and been like, okay, this is how many 5 stars we had in a 10 pull, or not in a 10 pull, within 10 wishes of each other. I think we saw most of those instances when I was looking through the history in the video itself though, so I felt that that was kind of unnecessary, and it would have taken a lot of work to do that for a video that was meant to be more focused on the end conclusion of like, over time, even if you're not C6 area character, law of large numbers takes effect, and like it's surprisingly consistent. You surprisingly consistently get the limited 5-star. I know how Brick Breaker works, Mario. Thank you. You surprisingly consistently get the limited 5-star in about 100 wishes, one in 90 wishes. There could have been other data I could have looked at, like I could have done more wishing on Natlan characters to see how capturing Radiance really shifts that number at all. I'd assume it just makes it slightly more likely, right? It's not that interesting. Like it's a relatively simple video at its core, but the purpose of it is not because I can say law of large numbers, statistics numbers, like statistics exactly predicts the results of that video, essentially the meaningful conclusions. And I could give statistics at the end to help solidify that point, but that video was kind of more for trying to get a lesson from one, Gamba entertainment brain rot, but also to gain a lesson in like, yeah, this is what this looks like in practice. This is how they like, because if you just watch one person's C6 wishing video, you don't see this effect of like how consistent it actually is, like how much law of large numbers has an effect, and trying to extrapolate that out to like, that's technically the same experience you have on an account that doesn't wish for C6 characters and just goes C0 but gets 8 characters over the course of a year C0. Well, it's the same thing. The same like averaging tends to happen where like you can get a little unlucky, but like it's generally speaking going to be about like that amount of wishes. So I don't know. And you can use law of large numbers to plan your long-term pull budget relatively easily. But then the Lanyan at the end was like, so the focus wasn't supposed to be on 4 stars anyways, and my bad by the way for missing Hazo and I think Kirara were apparently not C6. Apparently they were sitting right under Lanyan too. My brain, there was just too many numbers on that screen, and video took so much longer to record than I thought it was going to. And Mika, yeah. So like it's not that surprising that we didn't get C6 of those characters because of how the 4-star system works, and because those characters released on banners that weren't the first banner with a new character. So we never ended up directly wishing on them, which is really funny. But anyways, Lanyan taking 400 pulls to get 5 copies was insane. I cannot believe we had, until the C6 and C7 Lanyan, the troll at the end was wonderful too, but I cannot believe we had 4 Arlecchinos, and that was with like 50-50 losses. We had 4 Arlecchinos with 50-50 losses, and 4 Lanyans at the same time. What? Like, and being that that's exactly what my experience with 2 copies of Lanya was hilarious. Like, what a wonderful ending to that video. Honestly, it was like, for like the boring result of the 5-star characters, then culminating in 4 stars are pain, was perfect. It was beautiful. Anyways, Super Breaker. No, I don't need your characters. We'll do you. We'll do... No, I need to do you. And then we can do a pyro unit. Pick you. Alright. Me trying to C6 Gaming? Yeah, I know, right? I swear, if I've had this bad of luck on Lanyan through simulation and in my own experience in-game, if it takes me 400 pulls to get C6 Lanyan, I have C3 right now. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't get why they don't add more characters to the shop. It's notable they need to add, like, characters to the shop and not just, like, you know... Oh, God dang it. Not remove old ones. Oh, speaking of, I really forgot to plan around this. Bennett is in the shop this month, which matters because... Oh, that was terrible. Which matters because I didn't even use the thing to... Well, okay. Good job, me. I should switch it. Nope. Oh, yeah. Okay. What was I saying? Sorry, Brick Breaker Brain Rot has taken over. Oh yeah, Bennett in the shop. On formerly weapons only, I have C4 Bennett. C5 Bennett, in case you weren't aware, is a fairly impactful constellation. And it's possible Bennett ends up being rerun and Escoffier's banner. That would be a nice win for the account. But it's also very possible he does not. Oh, God dang it. Oh, frick, I didn't realize there's one block left. I was too focused on the balls and not on the blocks. So, anyways, I only have 6 Star Glitter on that account right now. It might be a bit of a struggle to get enough Star Glitter to get Bennett before the end of the month, but unironically, particularly if Bennett doesn't rerun this patch, for formerly weapons only, I might... it might be worth the risk to wish for a C5 Bennett if he ends up on second half. Like getting an accidental Kniech or something on that account would not be bad at all. We have compelling options for Kniech teams, actually. A duplicate can't. So, anyways, we're just gonna use the trial characters because I'm lazy. And yeah, Raiden C1 I don't think is impactful on that account. Raiden C2 might be, but no, I think it makes more sense if Bennett is on this. Anyways, point being, there is the possibility to get enough Star Glitter, I think, on that account. It's just going to be slightly a struggle, I think. One enemy now. And I need to plan around that, is my point. Nope, didn't move in time. Okay. No, I didn't realize I had 2 balls. Ugh. Oh, I thought I hit that one before I ran. Oops. You kind of regret Shalona? Really? Interesting. How come? Ugh. Wait, you can jump sprint? Oh, you can. Oh, interesting. Nice. You regret being at C1 Eons on and not C2 after 250 wishes. That's brutal. That's a Lanya on C6 and 400 wishes moment. Was that enough stuff to get that full rewards, by the way? Okay, it was 3,000. Is everything 3,000 points for this? I think it is. Okay, cool. I assume. Although I can only see the 3 because that's all it's unlocked. Cryo to freeze, connected Hydro Bricks with Quake leading. Okay, so wait, Pierce, Electro pierces. That just seems like Electro is better than. You talk about whether pulling for Raiden or Kazuha on Chronicle Banner is worth it. Raiden is not on Chronicle Banner. Arguably, she should be, which makes Raiden a more safe unit to go for inherently because. If you lose your 50-50, you can save that guarantee for the future. Or you can have a 50-50 loss that contributes to capturing Radiance in the future. So, yeah. Yeah, they never include Archons. Is Kazuha worth it on the Chronicle Banner? Maybe. It depends on what you see that could be valuable for... Oh, it just froze everything. Wow, what a world. Well, this is exciting. Blap. So, I don't know. Anyways, yes, but no. Be the answer. Kazuha is like, I don't know. It's like, even after Shalonen's release, right? While I've definitely found I'm using him a lot less in like Abyss and whatnot, he's still also really nice to have for a lot of situations. He's still enjoyable. Like, the fundamental thing that makes Kazuha enjoyable is reaction shenanigans, and plungy grouping things, right? Like, it's just satisfying. There's just the situations that matters is relatively rare. And being that the new endgame game mode is going to be, presumably it seems like from what we heard, single target and boss focused, that's probably going to continue to not matter, right? Like, Kazuha is probably not going to be relevant in the new game mode, other than as a generic buffer. And, like, it's still valuable having him as a generic buffer, especially if we need 3 teams, right? So, I don't know. Kazuha's in a weird place, right? Especially because Sucrose exists. Like, I think the more valuable combo on, like, a meta level, as far as, and I'm saying value as in, like, what's better for, like, wishes, like, wish efficiency. Who should you wish for? I think it's smarter to, like, level up your Sucrose and use Sucrose for the things that Sucrose is amazing at, which is a lot of the things that Kazuha is good at. And then, have Shalonen. That's going to be a more valuable core not core, is the wrong word. More valuable units to have on your account and less total wishes, usually, invested. So, I don't know. But yeah, Kazuha was fun. Sucrose was fun too. Is also my counterpoint. I don't know. I think people underestimate the fun value of Sucrose because they don't understand how the mechanics of the game actually work. Kazuha is a lot more brain dead to use compared to Sucrose, but it's fine. Sucrose isn't that hard to use either, but anyways. But gotta level Sucrose. My point is, like, Sucrose is smarter to level. You level Sucrose instead of pulling for a 5-star unit and leveling Kazuha. Kazuha takes the same, if not more, investment than Sucrose, arguably. Because Kazuha has more ER needs for his anyways. I'm not saying you have to level Sucrose. I'm just saying that's, like, the more valuable thing to do. Sucrose's existence does hurt the value of Kazuha as far as, like, pull value goes. And his, like, generalist value isn't super valuable oh my god, what just happened there? Isn't super valuable when they aren't releasing very much content where, like, his plunging stuff matters, right? His plunging and grouping matters. My hope is that, to be clear, my hope is that with the new Abyss thing, if the new Abyss is going to be completely relegated to bosses, right, which I think is fine, then I sincerely hope they go back to the structure of Abysses that they used to do pre-Natlan, which, for anyone not aware, was essentially where Abysses were split between, usually they had an AoE-ish side, like at least 2 of the 3 chambers were AoE-ish, so you could get meaningful value out of, like, having AoE, grouping utility, whatever. Pretty much most Abyss cycles on one side in some form or another. And then the other side was... What? Oops. Was more single target, right? So if they're going to have a permanent endgame mode, an Abyss 2, that is always single target, I sincerely hope they go back to the structure of Abysses having more AoE situations, which would therefore then increase the value of Kazuha. That's essentially what I'm saying. Both on a fun level and just utility level. Will that be the case? I'd love for it to be the case, but, you know, that's my hope. I'm not going to use you, I'm sorry. Here, we'll use Kazuha. We'll see. We'll see. So, should you go for Kazuha? I don't know. Right now, it's just like the wait and see. Supposedly the thing with Kazuha, with the new Abyss should be in version 5.7, which means by the time the Chronicle banner happens, we should know what that content looks like, and we will also see what the next Abyss cycle looks like, presumably, to see if they are doing what I hope they do in the idea of going back to Abysses that have some kind of AoE focus more often, right? But we'll see. All the jumping worked. Oops. I just dodged to avoid that one. Good job. I just managed to... Wow, that was incredible. Aw, I should have jumped there. Could have gotten it. I feel like there's something lacking in... Because, like, normally Brick Breaker games, don't they have the ability to, like, add momentum to the balls in some ways by, like, switching your direction? I feel like that this Brick Breaker game in Genshin doesn't have that, right? Or am I wrong? Like, what I would expect is, like, being able to control it a little bit more than you are able to. And that makes this, like, a pretty lame Brick Breaker game, unfortunately. Like, it's actually, I think, there's really subtle things you can do on a game design level to make Brick Breaker games more enjoyable. And, like, the gimmick of switching the stuff is good, but the lack of, like, control over where the balls go makes it a little boring. Like, as far as a minigame event that just, like, is a fluff event for getting some Primogem rewards, it's perfectly fine, because Brick Breaker is a great fundamental thing. My point is, it's just, like, it could be a little better with minorly different decisions. You can control it fairly well? Oh, okay. Maybe it just isn't intuitive to me because I'm too used to, like, different styles of Brick Breaker, ways of, like, controlling the ball. I haven't tried that much, to be fair. I'm just yapping about things that's coming to my head. So, anyways, it's a perfectly fine event. I'm not going to worry about optimizing my Brick Breaker gameplay in this event. The gimmick of using the elemental reactions is clever, and I appreciate that, so, you know. And the stuff with, like, dash jumping making you go a little bit farther is good. Oh, I just noticed that thing is spinning with me. Okay. That's also a good thing. Oh, I switched the wrong... Yep. Oh, oh, yeah, dang it. I'm not focusing on the thing over there, up there at all. Just focusing on the mini balls on the screen. Yeah, figures that. We won't lose that. Nice. Alright. Wait, I didn't get 3,000 points. Oh, I did. Okay, there's bonus points for the time. I see. Cool. Alright. How exciting. You know what? My excuse for not doing ley lines is the Mora from this and the Heroes Wits from this were equivalent to ley lines. Kind of. I need whoever designed that fishing event stoned. I thought it was okay, but it didn't feel like fishing. It felt like what I don't even know how to describe that fishing event. It was whack. It was really weird, but interesting in a weird way. So I don't know. Oh yes, invasion quests. I'm gonna have to listen to this 2 more times with dialogue on. So. Yeah, there's definitely been worse events than the fishing event, that's for sure. Alright. By the way, I don't know if people have noticed this. I've been trying to troubleshoot more seriously this stupid, like, pulsing background sound. You probably only notice this with, like, decent headphones, to be clear. But there's this, like, weird pulsing background sound that happens with my microphone sometimes. That's really annoying, and from what I can guess, it's probably a grounding issue in some form. But it might quite literally have to do with, like, require rebuilding my PC an entire different case. I don't know. So I think you notice it in other streams. Yeah. You have decent headphones, can't hear. I don't know. So it probably might depend on your volume level. It's like subtle, and sometimes it's more obvious. It's obvious at sometimes and not obvious at other times. If you want to try to hear, actually, I'm going to advise you don't try to hear it because you might struggle to unhear it after you hear it. But in like the entirety of the wishing video, I'm pretty sure it was going in the entirety of the wishing video that I released this weekend. So, anyways, a benefit of having bad audio setups is you probably can't hear it. With some isolation tape help, that might, yes. I could probably isolation tape a number of things. The problem is, like, okay, if it's something as simple as putting some stuff around some cables, it's going to make it a pain in the arse to, like, unplug things, which I have to do for various reasons sometimes. Anyways, I don't know. Point being, I'm working on that problem, and I'm mentioning it now because I think when I move and get better internet, I will try to do a couple of things, because I'm gonna have to redo my whole setup anyways, in whatever situation, with, you know, and so put my computer in a new case, I think, get all the, and then get the cable management and done in a way where I can, like, I figure out and isolate this issue and figure out where the presumed grounding interference is coming from. So hopefully if you notice that issue, my point is hopefully I can resolve that soon. That's my point. Okay, anything else to do in this account today? Oh yeah. Okay, we are not going to have time for Zenless, are we? I don't know, we'll see. I wanted to do Deadly Assault, but I didn't want to commit to it. So, you know, if I don't do Deadly Assault in this stream, I'm going to go do Deadly Assault on Tuesday, during the banner downtime. Probably. RTX 5090 upgrade incoming. No, probably not. My GPU, I don't think is a problem. I am considering upgrading my CPU, because I do think I was having... Actually, okay. Unironically, I do think I might... I think one of the crashes I had during my streams recently might have actually been VRAM related, but I don't think that's the fundamental problem at hand. And there's methods to fix it that aren't, you know, get a new graphics card. That seems a bit excessive in my mind. But a new CPU actually might fix the problem, because it did seem like I was having some problems. Like, I think that was actually the reason I was having problems with Black Myth Wukong and whatever. So, like, my CPU is kind of a bit older at this point, even though it's perfectly cromulent for most tasks. And the other CPU that I bought a year ago, I think, is dead, which is RIP. That was a $200 thing I bought that is dead, that I never checked to see if it was dead back when I first got it. Oopsies. Oh well. What was it doing? Oh yeah, Chungus. We need annoying material. This. Why do you go there? I really wish you would. This is like maybe the most annoying core lapis in the game, I bet. But okay. Did you RMA it? Nope. It's not new. I bought it used. It was working when I bought it. I saw it working, and it doesn't work anymore. It could be related. I have to troubleshoot it some more, actually. But It could be related to the motherboard I tested it in, but it didn't work in the motherboard I tested it in, and other CPUs of the same generation, like the same exact generation. So this wasn't like a BIOS being updated for this generation of CPU issue. Worked. So, I think it did, and I don't know why. Oopsies. Have I never? I think I finished the Minesweeper game. I think I don't need this anymore. Delete. Okay. We need to switch to someone else. Yes, and we should switch to Veressa too for this. Like, can Veressa get rocks? No. Oh wait, no. But this lady can. She's one of the best rock collectors. And then we can just do. Well, we can replace you. You're not going to work anyways. Chi-Chi, I think, marks things on the map, right? Maybe not. Wait, I didn't deploy the team. Derp. Oh, we could do Yanfei, I guess. Yeah, that's true, in place of Yansan. I forgot about Yanfei. Okay, go back to Shivers. We're not gonna have to fight that many enemies, I don't think, but, you know, just in case. We like brain-deading things for Overworld. Yanfei. Alright. I didn't oh my god. Alright, there we go. I figured it out. Okay, where in the world is this core lapis? Down below? Okay. Nice. Okay. Is it all right here? Hopefully? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yoink. What you missed? Okay. And now there's some above. That's annoying. Okay. Hello, friends. It's all the way up there? Okay. Don't touch me. Is this gonna be useful for once? Oh, it kind of was for once. Wow, crazy. Okay. I feel like... Okay. Where is this other core lapis? Wait, it's directing me to here, isn't it? Oh. Oh, it's taking me to this plant. Okay, where's the other core lapis here? God dang it. It's at the top of this structure. Oh, it is? Oh, okay, so we do need to head there. Sure, I'll take some violet grass while we're at it. There's tech you can do to make it climb a lot higher, is there? What is it? I would like to know it, because I do like this team a lot for Overworld. It's a very nice brain-off Overworld team. For lots of cases. It must be that pillar, I bet. Right? Maybe it's over here. You lied? Oh. Yes, you did, but we found it. Hey, and there's some more here. Good, good. Okay. No, I need to... I want the core lapis is not here. Okay, let's go get the core lapis not here. You do that as a last resort. There's like a ton over here. Yeah, right? Okay. We'll here at... We'll go here first. This is the go-to area. If you do a backflip. What's the backflip? Will there be a C3D video? Specific? I wasn't intending to make a C3D video. I've just been using her randomly in a lot of streams and whatever. Like, I don't know. It I feel like C3D didn't enable anything new, right? So like... But I also didn't make a video about C2D, did I? Like, I maybe should have made a video about C2D. But... I don't know. Okay. Maybe what would the video be framed around if I make another Dia video? I'm still using Dia in 2025. I still like main DPS Dia. I like Dia more than Muika. No, we don't need to compare to Muika directly in the title. I do like the title though of I'm still using Dia in 2025. Okay. Didn't have to do that. Wait, I just realized. Have I done? Nope, I forgot. Let's do that quick. Here, let's put it on flat ground. That's not flat. There's nothing flat here. Okay, we'll just put it here. Plap. Wait, did I not replace this down? I didn't. Ah, frick me. Okay, someone remind me to place the crystal fly trap. I don't want to place it here. Let's do this, because I think, I believe ore is what gives you the character crystals. Yeah, there we go. Okay, nice. Well, that was actually, I say nice, but it mostly gave me weapon ascension crap. I really would. Okay, it looked better than it was because like I thought these were things for a second, but they weren't. Well, that's barely any. Whatever, it's something. It's something. It helps technically. What was I saying? Yeah, the only reason I don't use Dia in this team over Moika for Overworld is just because, yeah, Moika's a little bit of climbing, a little bit of... I thought she was going to do her waterboard thing. Or not waterboard, that's torture. I mean, using Moika is... No. Jet ski, water ski. That's the word I was looking for. Not waterboarding. But, you know, sometimes it do feel like that. No, that's a joke. Waterboard is literally a form of torture. I don't think it's literally torture to use Moika. Usually. But anyways, she's useful enough for Overworld, and like this team does not have that much of a survivability problem or like interruption resistance problem or anything. So like I don't really feel a need for Dia's like comfort value in this kind of team, but it's also not a bad option, you know. So actually, I don't know. Maybe the ideal version of this for an Overworld team is without factoring the local specialties thing we're doing right now, right? Instead of Eons on, maybe I do Dia, because you get some more movement speed in the daytime, right? I don't think what am I doing? So, I don't know. Why no Eons on or Benny? Because I need the targeting right now. Okay, it's still saying I missed 4. Oh, I think I know where they are. It's torture when Moika does 50% of the team DPS just from bursting from your on-fielder. I mean, that's why I don't burst. Easy. Solution. Oh yeah, I reconfigured Moika's build very slightly. She has more crit damage now. Because I gave her a Gaming's Goblet. Mostly because, I don't know. I was testing around with Gaming a little bit more. With the Goblet that has a whole bunch of EM and attack. And I don't know, I really like him with this whack ton of EM. Like, I like this weird build that seems like it has like 0 crit on it, but because of this stupid weapon and his C6, like it actually has more than enough crit. So I kind of like him on this goblet more than I like him on a goblet with crit. It's funny. Anyways, I think having 250 EM in substats on a 4-piece Crimson Gaming is really funny. So I kind of like it. Anyways. It doesn't perform that different from a crit goblet. The crit goblet is technically better, but barely. And I think it's a funnier looking build and more interesting. So, I guess for reference, because I didn't show the full build. So, this weapon with the C6 Gaming, like 2 EM rolls there, 3 EM rolls there, the rest into crit. Yep, an ER timepiece, and yes, I would love a better one than this, but that's a future problem to solve. This is unironically really good. And then this with a whack ton of EM as well. So, it's just such a weird Gaming build. but I like it a lot. I don't know. Certainly not an optimal Gaming. But he's optimal in my heart. Yeah, it is a lot of EM with no main stat. Okay, it's telling me to go down over there, right? Yeah, okay. By the way, I think Veressa is probably the wings, the Mondstadt, whatever, animal wings. She's probably the character that these wings look the best on. Where is this, by the way? I thought it was telling me to go like right here. Oh, it is telling me to go here, but it's up. I missed something. Yep. I'm still missing something here? 2? Where? Where? I know there's more down there, but those are in a different targeting area. What do you mean go down the path? I know they're down there. It's not the ones that I'm missing, I don't think. I don't think these are in the circle, are they? Oh, they are in the circle. God dang it. Of course they are. Okay. I thought these weren't in the circle. I thought this was a different targeting area. My bad. Freaking core lapis. Okay. These ones I did know about. Yoink. Okay. I'm gonna go Escoffier and maybe just skip Skirk and wait for a better Cryo Hydra DPS in the near future. I mean, yeah, that's a fair option. Although don't be surprised when you suddenly feel otherwise when you see Skirk's animations. I think Mihoyo wants to make money on Skirk. And that's part of the, by the way, that's another factor actually, as far as the idea of Dahlia being an attack buffer. Another way to make people want to wish on Skirk is to release a Bennett variant on her banner, right? Even if Dahlia is even more restrictive than whatever, than for Skirk, than Eonson for like the characters that Eonson makes the most sense with, Dahlia will still be a very valuable character if he's an attack buffer. So I don't think it's going to be a lot of attack buffing, because too much attack buffing would be a bit silly in the context of how much Escoffier does in her full Escoffier team context, Hydro Cryo context. But again, just something as small as I mean, this is not me doing a calculation, but I'm pretty sure something as small as... Really? Something as small as like a 600 attack buff, like half of a Bennett buff of attack buffing is enough to make Dahlia extremely valuable for a Escoffier team specifically, at minimum, and also just pretty valuable outside of that context, just depending on what Dahlia's Hydra application. Like if they give Dahlia if Dahlia is not very team restrictive and does 60% attack buffing for the team, it doesn't have to be team wide. I'm just saying 60% attack. Like so 60% attack or like 600 attack total ish, whatever. Half of Bennett buff, right? But then also does Hydra application. Oh, okay. No. You don't run into someone and expect no retaliation. Anyways, watching Dahlia not be related to the Escoffier teams. I mean, that's possible, but remember they're releasing Dahlia in the same patch as Skirk, and they chose to save Dahlia to be released with Skirk. Like, I'm just gonna assume Dahlia has some intended synergy with Skirk, right? And I think it's gonna be more than just attack speed, unless Skirk has some surprise thing in her kit, like she deals damage based on percentage of attack speed. Like her multipliers increase by attack speed, which would be weirdly specific but funny. Bongo Cat. Oh yeah. Leave me alone. I tried to ignore you. I did try to ignore you. By the way, actual problem though, I just realized, I don't know if I'm gonna So I was going to just immediately ascend Chongyun. I think I'm going to wait to ascend Chongyun. I think I have enough cryo crystals to ascend Chongyun and still do Escoffier. I'm going to wait until I'm done ascending Escoffier to finish ascending Chongyun. Because the main reason I'm ascending Chongyun and getting him to 80 is because I want him to do more damage in Escoffier teams. So, you know, I think Escoffier is the priority, though, as far as ascension crystals. Yeah, Bongo Cat. Duplicate horns. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I noticed in the settings, there is a lifetime taps. So you can see I've done 54,000 on Bongo Cat. Oh yeah, I got a new witch hat on Bongo Cat. But honestly, this witch hat is a higher rarity witch hat. And it just looks worse than the lower rarity witch hat. Like, this is the low rarity one. It just looks better. I don't know. Anyways. There we go. Bongo Cat has graduated. It's graduation-ish time right now of the year, right? So, there you go. Escoffier burn melt? Oh, it'll work. I'm relatively certain that Escoffier melt teams will be, at minimum, more flexible than Ganyu melt teams. So, I expect in practice, even if it's not incredibly better on a spreadsheet level because of Escoffier ER needs, I think in practice, Escoffier melt teams, like on-field Escoffier melt, is going to be better than Ganyu melt. I'm sorry. But I will test that on my main account. Which is this account. Don't you worry. And this is, again, I think why we need Dahlia to be an attack buffer. Because if Dahlia is an attack buffer, Dahlia would hopefully do more for, like, Ganyu or other cryos than it is to just on-field your Escoffier. What am I doing? What weapon is Escoffier? Polearm. Wait. Okay, well, I'm going to get the core lapis over here. How many do I have, by the way? I need to check. 36. Okay, I can count down. Stop it acting. 1. Okay. 2. 3. I think there's some over here. Oops. Not that, though. Wait, oh, there it is, yeah. Four. Proceeds to count up. I'm sorry, okay? That's, you know what I meant. Five. Oh. Nice. Okay. 6. 7. 8. We need one more if I counted correctly. Yup. Okay. That's fine. What teammates would Escoffier melt use? So if you don't have C6 Bennett, I think your team options, because the C6 Bennett, right? I'm fairly confident that C6 Bennett alone. So this is the same thing like you can do with Kaya, for example. Like using Escoffier having a pyro infusion from Bennett can enable herself to apply her own pyro that gets her to melt, which opens up your team options quite significantly for melt teams. But one thing I'm curious, for example, is if we will be able to do Escoffier Shenhe C6 Bennett melt. But if Escoffier, if C6 Bennett alone works with melt Escoffier Shenhe, that is something that Ganyu just can't do, right? Why are you going over there? We'll see, right? I don't know. How do you feel about building an on-field? Is there a Shenhe list? Oh no, I'm just saying like Shenhe, being able to use Shenhe in melt context is not usually very commonly a thing, but it very much might be a thing, and I suspect it should work. I don't know if it'll work with C6 Bennett alone, but I know it'll work with C6 Bennett, or without C6 Bennett with another Pyro off-fielder, right? Like Xiangling, for example. My point is like that's a team context that doesn't work with Ganyu. So burn melt should work. I think VV melt setups might actually work with the Escoffier because of the duration of her cryo application, the fact that you can like do E at the start of a rotation, depending on the exact teammates you have. If you're doing like say Sucrose, Escoffier, Bennett, or actually Lanyon would be interesting too for shielding values. Let's say Lanyon, TTDS, Bennett. Actually, that might be a little awkward to get getting a cryo swirl with Lanyon might be awkward. I'm gonna go back to Sucrose. I'm sorry. Let's say Sucrose, Bennett, Escoffier, and then whatever. You can either do a Pyro off-fielder, you can do a Dendro off-fielder, you can do Emily, right? You could do Burn Melt, you could do whatever. That should work. Like, there's a lot of team formats, and like, so in the context, say, of a team that doesn't have to spend a lot of time with burst animations, even if you're not getting a ton of value from the VV uptime or whatever, because the rotation is not going to be perfect. Like VV setups in melt context are very hard, but it's enough that like you should be able to get VV set up for at least Escoffier's burst, and Escoffier's burst is a big multiplier. So getting like a VV buff at least up for her 1000% burst that gets a melt is significant. So something like Sucrose Bennett core plus a flex slot for whatever else. Either more Res Shred, more, you could do Shalonen, you could do whatever, right? Like, I think there's actually a lot of options for on-field Escoffier melt, is my point. And those are options that Ganyu just doesn't have. And hence why, like, in practice, I think Escoffier on-field melt is going to be way better than Ganyu melt. So, yeah. The green highlights of Moika's circle. No, I don't think that's a constellation thing. I'm pretty sure. It might be, actually. I don't know. Maybe the green highlights is that what she has when she has C1? I see what you're talking about with the background here, for sure. I think it's just meant to be a thing of, like, Aurora effect kind of thing to... Yeah. So, I don't know. Anyways, we'll be testing... We don't need to get any more of these. We'll be testing Escoffier melt. On-field melt. And I expect it to be better. I expect without fully investing in my Escoffier's talents compared to my Ganyu, which does have a level 10 normal attack talent, it will be better. So, and it's not a thing that's going to show up necessarily on a spreadsheet, though, in the same way. By the way, one reason that like the Shenhe context might be really good is because the biggest limiter for Escoffier melt is... you're gonna, for 1000% multiplying her burst, the damage value is in the, like, if you're playing a melt DPS Escoffier on field, you're going to want to burst consistently, and her energy needs solo cryo are high. Someone like Ganyu doesn't need a burst, so that's a significant difference maker as far as like build requirements go. That changes the damage value you actually get in practice, and that's what I'm talking about on a spreadsheet level. If the energy needs weren't there, then on a spreadsheet level, I think Escoffier actually just does beat Ganyu. But the Shenhe context, right, might be her strongest melt team because that means it's double cryo, and also Shenhe buff for Escoffier will be quite strong. So, you know, and again, if I can figure out something where like Bennett C6 alone is enough pyro to get Escoffier to melt consistently with Shenhe Escoffier core, Shenhe Escoffier Shenhe core, that's going to be really, really strong. And that might be a lot stronger than Ganyu. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, Crystal Flycatcher. Oh yeah, let's go put it down in... Nalan, I guess. That's where I usually have been putting it lately. I don't know if I'll need to have it here, but I don't know. How'd you get the sky like that? I think there is a setting on PC for fluffier clouds. It's in one of these settings, yeah. I don't remember which one. But there was definitely a version update like last year where they made the clouds look nicer on the highest setting. Kaya's or Deluxe skin? I mean, Kaya's was free, so I'm biased towards Kaya's. But Deluxe has more visual effects, so I don't know. Why'd I come here? Oh yeah, the crystal cladding. Oh yeah, I don't know why I used the higher tier one. That didn't really matter, but whatever. Okay, let's go on to other accounts quick. Blap. Oops, clicked off my window by accident. Ever do a PMC video? I've been intending to do one for like 2 weeks. I yapped at the beginning of the stream. Like my brain. I have this last month. I have fuddled my sleep schedule over the course of not one individual. Like it started from one individual day, but then like. It's been the worst experience trying to fix, like, realign my sleep schedule to, like, for good productivity. It's been a terrible month for me for productivity because of a number of compounding fuddling up of things with my brain and when I'm awake and when I have energy to, like, make a good video, both editing-wise and recording-wise. I am either going to try to get the Curara video out tomorrow or on Tuesday, but there's a possibility of if I'm in the energy state to do so, I might try to get the Curara video out tomorrow and then like a Pyro Traveler video out on Tuesday during maintenance, right? I like the idea of doing that, but I don't know. And so I'm probably not streaming tomorrow for that purpose, by the way, in order to maybe record that video, but because one problem I also have is that like, especially in conjunction with having a stupid, dumb sleep schedule, yapping for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours straight on a live stream does, like, mentally remove the energy for, like, recording, in my experience. Even if it doesn't make me physically tired, it makes me mentally tired and hard to be as, like, enthused about recording a video. So, you know, yeah. Anyways, yes, I will make a PMC video. I intended to make it like a week or two ago, but it hasn't happened yet. Oopsies. One bad way to reset sleep is to stay up 24 hours till the time you want to sleep. I know. For what it's worth, I did do that. That was part of my reasoning for staying awake as long as I did for the 5.8 or 5.8, the 5.6 stream. It didn't work because I then failed to whatever. It didn't work in that instance. What are we doing? We are polearms only. Okay, we don't think I don't think we have to do dailies because I have to do the Brick Breaker event on this account. So, okay, that's the goal. I only have 30 minutes left. Okay. I think if we're doing Deadly Assault, we're not doing very much Deadly Assaulting. No Deadass is my guess. So Deadly Assault may have to wait until a waiting room stream on Tuesday. I just said I didn't have to do dailies, and I went to do dailies. Wait, how long's left in the Brick Breaker? I think like a day. I believe it ends like... Actually, wait. I think this event might be a weird event that ends when the patch is done. I'm not sure. No, I think that's shortly before the patch is done. I think that's the day before. Wait, no, it isn't. 1 day and 10 hours is... No, I think that is the day the patch is resetting. It's going to be shortly before. I think that patch that event is done. I think shortly before the maintenance happens. So yeah. Also, you're on EU, so I think you have less time than me, Sylveon, technically. Because I'm pretty sure it ends like 10 hours sooner. In real time from now, I mean. So maybe you actually have less time. I would double check. Actually, no, wait, I'll double check for you because I'm going to log on to the EU account shortly. Thing that helped you was progressively waking up earlier, not taking naps. Yeah, the naturally taking naps has definitely been part of why I have struggled to recover. And we can engage 4-line principle with a double high roll 4-liner. By the way, I have to imagine, so we'll see how many comments like this randomly pop up in the future, like with, oh, you don't have the normal attack after C2 Eon's on, right? Because, yeah, you can just do EQ, but almost always I prefer still doing the normal attack, because usually, not always, usually it jumps you towards the enemy, which is useful, but also more importantly, it usually makes it so that you catch fab particles. While, like, before you switch off field, which can matter for getting Eonson's burst back properly. So, yeah, the whole thing with C2 making it so you don't have to do the normal attack on Eonson basically doesn't matter, in my experience so far. I mean, no. I'm not going to lock that. There's a reality where I have to use an ER timepiece on Xiao, though, on this set. So, like, if I have really good crit substats and everything else and don't have any ER substats, the ideal ER timepiece might be like a double crit attack percent ER timepiece. So if this had attack percent, I would level it up, but it doesn't. So, yeah, and yeah, it very, very rarely is of any benefit because her doing a normal attack thing is faster, and like getting fab particles on her can definitely matter. So yeah. Anyways, and it also, yeah, just tends to feel better for aligning yourself up with enemies and whatever. It's like, it's nice to have the option to not have to do the normal attack, but it's almost never something that's important. There is the only like real downside thing that happens sometimes is the same like weird auto-targeting problem with like Varess's jump forward happens with her normal attack, where she'll sometimes just jump forward like away from the enemy, and that's annoying. That can be like annoying enough to have to cause a reset if you're optimizing, but you know, not that big a deal most of the time. See? Did the jump caught the fab particles. If I hadn't done that, it's arguably better in this team in particular, because then I can, if I don't do the normal attack, because I do E, Q, no normal attack on Eonson, switch to Arlecchino, do Arlecchino's E, it's going to make Arlecchino jump forward, and she's going to gain some, you know, Night Soul on Eonson by doing that. So it's arguably better, right? In this team in particular. But then I don't catch the fab particles, and that could be annoying. In this team, it probably doesn't matter because I'm doing, you know, double electro, but, you know, you get the point. Anywho's, I do not like the dying noises that Squirrel makes. Well, thankfully, most people won't have to spend that much time in that domain, but you might have to hear it from me for a while if I commit to the idea of going for Xiao pieces on here. That pre-farm for Escoffier on this account, yeah. Or on both accounts, yes. I have, so... I have, well, okay, my main account, I don't have quite enough talent material. Oh, frick, I forgot about that. Oops. I forgot that I intended to get, oh, well, rip. I think, I still don't know what I want to do for Escoffier's talent on my main account. Like, I was leaning towards doing 696 for her talents. It's either 688 or 696. I don't really want to commit to doing 699, because that's a lot more expensive. I definitely don't have enough materials for 699. I have about enough for 688 right now. And 688 is almost exactly the same as doing 696. The reason to do 688 is because of the, like, burst Escoffier shenanigans. Like, realistically, because I'm likely going to do something with on-field Escoffier, I should probably do 688, and then I can maybe do 699 or 699 in the future if I enjoy doing on-field Escoffier things enough, right? I'm fine with min-maxing her talents. I mean, level 9 is not min-maxing her talents. She's never getting crowned, I can tell you that. But anyways, not on my main account. On this account, she is. And this account is fully pre-farmed. Can go to crowned skill, crown burst. Not going to crown her normal attack, not right away. Might crown her normal attack if I end up getting C1 Escoffier and end up really liking doing, you know, on-field charge attack spam with like Candace infusion, whatever, on this account, then maybe I will. But what did I come here for? Oh, you know what? Here, let's do this. I'm still kind of looking for some better crit rate circlet options for her, because I do think if I'm going to min-max Escoffier's build on this account, it would be nice to have some better circlet options. I have very good crit damage circlet options, but not good crit rate circlets, unless I just need ER. I have a crit rate circlet with a bunch of ER, which is nice and all that, but it's not exactly what I need in this account. I don't need that. Okay. The C1 is crit damage to cryo units, yes. Or sorry, it's cryo crit damage. You're the second one you mentioned, Danny. So yes, that unfortunately means that like a Hydro Infusion on an on-field Escoffier from Candace does not get any additional damage value. It's just like the fact that I would consider it best to if in the context of like Shenhe for polearms only, right? Shenhe, Candace, Rosaria, Escoffier. Escoffier is the most pleasing one I think to on-field in this context because of the fact that she doesn't do this charge attack. She does a custom, like, this kind of charge attack. I think that's just going to feel better. On a multiplier level, let's check. Here, Mihoyo surely won't smite me for showing Escoffier's image. There we go, I avoided it. Level 10 multiplier is 228% on her charge attack. What we can check, I guess we can check what is Shenhe. And Rosaria and Candace. Candace is going to be slow, though. Because maybe if they have significantly higher multipliers, but I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure they all have very similar multipliers for the charge attack. Therefore, the one that can execute it the fastest and least annoyingly with the movement is better, essentially. So, Candace, Shenhe, and Rosaria. Your level 10 normal attack is... Oh, wow, okay. Oh, yeah, because Rosaria is intended to be a physical DP as a baseline. I forgot your charge attack was actually pretty good. Okay. 270%. Maybe you do Candace on field instead. Or, sorry, that's a Candace. Rosaria. Candace's is a little bit higher, but this is definitely worse than Escoffier's charge attack because it's too slow. And then Shenhe's, I think, is... Yeah, it's kind of whatever. So, I don't know. Either Rosaria's normal attack is best... And there's no particular value gain from on-fielding any of them for like buffs, because the buffs in that team context are all going to be universal. The normal attack multiplier is better too. 100, 162 times 2, 137. 85. 100, 100. Okay, it's about the same. The normal attack combo might be doing like N2C might be a faster combo on her. It still might be like not that much different. Again, having to factor around doing like jump cancels for Rosaria is kind of awful. I don't know. I think it just might be more fun to do with Escoffier on field is my point. But Rosaria technically has better multipliers, so she theoretically would be better. Do I have her leveled up? I don't remember. I think I do a little. Yeah, just not crowned. Okay. And it wouldn't take that long to crown her. So, that's an interesting option. I did not realize she wanted to friggin', yeah, 270% at level 10. Okay. Interesting. By the way, when I have C6 Rosaria, as funny as it is, when I have C6 Rosaria, it's unironically going to be better to do like Mika instead of Candace in that context. Like, because Mika gives 60% crit damage and like attack speed. So like, there's that factor as well. I would jump cancel for Rosaria. Yeah, I know. That I just don't. I don't really enjoy jump canceling that much. And we probably can jump like you can jump cancel with Raiden, for example, too, right? So realistically, I don't think it's going to make a difference that much as far as clear times. So yeah. Anyways, We'll see. Should you build Rosaria? I mean, she'll be relevant for an option in Escoffier teams. She's relevant as... I mean, realistically, though, Escoffier makes there be less reason to level up Rosaria because Escoffier is essentially just Rosaria Pro Max. Like, Rosaria's only value over Escoffier is crit rate buff. But Escoffier with Rosaria is an interesting combo, right? It's going to be strong. Like, doing a Escoffier Shenhe Rosaria combo is going to be strong. And double cryo Escoffier Rosaria is a thing I'm planning to do on my casual account with Arlecchino. I'll probably test that on my main account as well. I think I will like the combo because that's a whole lot of crit rate buffing in conjunction with cryo resonance. So, yes. And yeah, the physical red shred context with Caesar's Rosaria is interesting. So, yada yada. What do I do? I'm yapping too much. I need to freaking do the event. Apparently I did one already for some reason. But I don't know. I like having Rosaria a lot. She's a valuable character to have for team options in this current Abyss. So, you know, is a pretty good unit at dealing with the Electro Shield. Well, we can only use pole arms, so, you know, flap, flap. Wait, we don't need pyro. We need hydro and electro. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Is it weak to Hydro or is it weak to... I think it's weak to Hydro. Okay. I never even looked at that before. Why is Shao almost dead? I mean, not almost dead. He has a third of his health. That's a ton. What? Excuse me? The angle that was going at, that should not have... Whatever. Oh, I lost that. Oh, wait, I didn't lose the ball. Oh, there's a barrier. That's why. Oops, I tried to switch, but wrong character. It's building her, but then I got Ganyu, so I kind of forgotten haven't used her since. Well, I mean, since I built Rosaria, I haven't used Ganyu. No, that's not really true. But, I mean, I like Rosaria as far as burst supportive utility, off-field, whatever utility Rosaria a lot more than I like Burst Rosaria, or Burst Ganyu. But Burst Ganyu does give some cryo damage bonus, which is something. Anyways. Polearms only even in the Brick Break event? Yeah, of course. If I can only use polearms, I only use polearms. If I ever have a choice to not use... The only time that polearms or non-polearm units are allowed to be on field is if I am forced to. Right? I am not forced to. Therefore, non-polearms cannot be on field. Oops, I forgot to change it. There we go. Good, I was able to control the direction for once. Nice. The reason there's no summer event is because every Natlan area has had summer vibes. I mean... If that's the way you want to think about it, I think go ahead. I think the reason is because they wanted to make less content this year. And see if they could get away with it. That's my feeling. I don't know. That's a little bit of pessimistic, I understand, but I don't know. I think it's kind of really skeevy of them to like, oh, we increased the rewards for exploration this year. and then just do less total exploration. Like, if there's seriously no summer event and one less total exploration patch across the whole year, and they presented it as if, and then they, you know, oh, we're giving so many more rewards for exploration, but then we get the same rewards or maybe even less total rewards for exploration this year anyways, because of, you know, less total exploration patches. Like, is that not extremely skeevy and misleading that they like, tried to make a hullabaloo of how great they were? It's like, okay, fine, we'll compete with Wuwa existing now, but only in the ways that tricks people into thinking we're being better, not by actually being better, right? That's my feeling with if there, especially if there's no summer event and being one less total exploration patch. If it's just one less total exploration patch, it isn't as bad, and I'm like kind of fine with them trying some new things, even if I would have preferred, you know, whatever. Duplicate party hat, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope there is a summer event still, but it kind of seems like there's not going to be, which is kind of brutal. If there's no summer event and no whatever, yeah, let's do Arlecchino riding. I don't know. There might still be a summer event. It could be in 5.7, could be in 5.8 alongside Mari Javari, but. And yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, you can make the argument they're allocating resources to the next region, sure. But that doesn't change the fact that this year there was not actually as much benefit as they said there was going to be for the exploration rewards because of the fact that they did a total amount lower of exploration content. Well, that ball's going to be stuck up there for a little bit, seems like. Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, didn't get it. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the exploration stuff, but it feels a little bit like a betrayal of trust. And yeah, even if we do it, even if we do technically get, even if all the FOMO exploration primo gems, even with less total exploration, if we have total more rewards, that doesn't help the fact that we have less total exploration content, or it feels like we have significantly less total exploration content, right? Okay, really? So I don't know. Oh, perfect. Kill it. Perfect. So I don't know. We'll see. The live stream, the bosses in a new area that doesn't exist for now. Surprise exploration patch for, like, you're talking before 3.6? No, it's not an exploration patch. The next patch has a tiny little new area being added. It's not actually a real exploration patch. It is like, yeah, sure, it technically has an exploration edition. But I don't even know if there's any chests in that new area. It might literally be just a boss and maybe like one minor quest. So maybe there's like 40 primo gems for the new area being added next patch. You're gonna pull Hugo's weapon? I mean, unless my luck is really good on getting Hugo and lighter, probably not. I wouldn't mind it, although I think it does change his build a little bit too, which is weird. I wonder, I don't know. Lighter gives so much damage bonus, but in his whatever one contest, it depends what freaking team you're using. And his, if I'm using a Hugo, like one of the main teams I want to play, even though this is not the best team for Hugo by any means, for Hugo's damage specifically, but I really like DPS Shingi And there is very much the potential to do DPS, Chingy, Trigger, Hugo together. And I have Trigger's engine. I have M1 Chingy, which is all Def Shred. And up until 100%, that would mean I get more... Oh, that was already Animo. That would mean I get more value from his engine, potentially, for that team context than I otherwise would. So it's tempting, I must admit, to try to get his engine. But I don't know. It just depends what happens. My current intention is to get Lighter, get Hugo, and we'll go from there. I lost the one. Yes, presumably the 5.8 patch with Mara Javari will give all the Oculus and unlock the final... isn't it kind of crazy not to have the friggin' Natlan level 50 thing unlocked until the very final thing? Like, wasn't level 50 in Fontaine available? Was level 50 in Fontaine available in, like, what, 5.6? Or was it 5... Or, sorry, 4.6? When did the Remuria come out? Like, I think we needed Remuria to have level 50, if I recall, right? But it was like the timing and delaying of it all again. It's just like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I really don't like that they've tried to present it as if they're giving more rewards for exploration, but they're giving us, but like it's the worst of all worlds. For them to try to convince us that it's good that they gave more exploration, or sorry, that they gave more exploration rewards, but then reducing the amount of exploration content. It's completable when Remuria came out? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And that was 4.6? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, they want to time gate the new elixir. I don't think that's the fundamental reason. I think they're trying to time gate the resources in general. Yes. I don't think it's specifically the elixir they're concerned about. Elixirs are not that good, and Mihoyo knows they're not that good. Oops. Good up. Whatever, I guess that works. But that duplicates every time. I didn't realize. Dang it. Dang it. Oh my gosh. Nice. All right. Is that it? Oh, that was it. Okay, cool. Just play them all today. I could save them for efficiency purpose for daily completion, but I don't care. I don't want to accidentally forget about them when it expires. Oh, I forgot to change the dialogue volume. Still stand by the elixir artifact should be 4-liners at base. With how they implemented the guaranteed line system, I haven't done a statistical analysis of this, but I'm relatively certain it would actually be the case that guaranteeing 4-line pieces would on average give higher value artifacts from elixirs than the system of guaranteeing 2 rolls into the crit, or into the what stats you chose. I'm pretty sure that would be the case. but that actually would take some statistical analysis that I don't feel like doing. Maybe if Tars wants a video. I don't know if Tars is here right now, but Tars, you should do that. You have the statistical backbone learning and whatever to do that more properly than I would anyways. So I think that should be a good Tars video. Oops. Wiping some gunk off my mouse pad. I need to clean my mouse pad. It's like slowly accruing some gunk from where the mouse is because of grime that's on, or disgusting flesh bodies. But anyways, the pity guarantee is worse for 4 lines. I mean, I know that. Yeah, I'm just saying doing a statistical analysis of like, okay, let's like pretend we're in the alternate reality where instead of this pity system for guaranteeing the 2 rolls, which is terrible because all it does is make sure that you get at minimum a not complete garbage artifact. Like it makes it you can't get 4 lines rolling into flat death, right? But it doesn't really guarantee a high quality artifact, so it particularly doesn't really help if you're trying to chase getting a really good build, right? If you're trying to chase getting a perfect Shao build, it doesn't really help you get a better, like that perfect goblet. You still have to get just as lucky as if you would have before they did the elixir change. Winning all your 50/50s for landing into crit, getting high roll values, having attack percent, ER, whatever is the other 2 stats. Yeah, it raises the floor, please, but doesn't it raises the floor but does not increase the ceiling at all for like the average chance of what you get. Its artifact is normal, but makes sure that the elixirs can't give you a totally garbage artifact. So if you use them smartly because of that, it can be still good. That's how, like, on my main account, it gave me a piece that was at minimum usable for Gaming for the ER timepiece I made for him, but not particularly exciting, right? It was at minimum usable, and that's where it's smartest to use them, is where they are at minimum usable, and all you need is an at minimum usable piece with, like, okay value to complete the build. That's where I think they're most valuable. But I honestly do think it would have been better on average for both it would have still been more variant, right, more variable, right? If we were in the alternate reality of instead of this guaranteed pity of, oh, you missed all of your rolls, the last 2 rolls will be crit implementation. If instead it's always just a 4-liner, that's an additional guaranteed roll of value that when you factor in other relevant stats that aren't the chosen stats that can be good, I think on average it would be better. It would have higher highs and lower lows than the current implementation, but a 4-line guaranteed I think would be better. And a 4-line guarantee with no guarantee for substat rolls, I mean. Stream since Ziox call out. I didn't call out Ziox. I just said if you're making an animal goblet. What? Oh, I haven't gotten the... I thought I clicked on the map somewhere by accident and got an achievement. I was like, what? No, that's just yeah. Anyways, claim my expedition reward. I only have 2 minutes, by the way. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to be late to D&D slightly. I will be slightly late. Well, we're not doing Zenless. May as well just remove that from the title. Maybe questing and more. There we go. Blap. Sorry, Osorio. If Osorio, if you're here, I 100% plan to do Deadly Assault on Tuesday. Because it is now 6 p.m. and I haven't even logged on to Formally Weapons Only. The defensive tone? What do you mean the defensive tone? I was just trying to be silly. I wasn't trying to be defensive. I was just trying to be silly. I don't know. Obviously, I was pointing out Ziox when I was talking about the elixirs. Anyways, I feel like a story being painted with Zenless for weeks. Yeah, sorry. Anyways, look, the titles are not a promise. I said maybe for a reason. That wasn't a promise. That was a maybe. Okay. Anyways, Wait, what do I want to do? Log in to a different account, you bozo. When you're looking for a less than 10% chance, you want better overall odds, not removing the worst cases, because you'd have trashed those anyways. Yeah, exactly. It's just, yeah, it feels like so many of MiHoYo's decisions in 5.0 onwards for whatever quality of life, elixirs, more primo gems for exploration, but like come with trade-offs. Like, yes, we made elixirs less trash, but only in a way that makes you feel like we aren't completely scamming you now. Okay, thanks. So I already did dailies in this account. I did them last night because this account the daily reset happens at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. for me or something. So, you know, don't actually have to do more dailies, which is good because that saves me a little bit of time. We can condense this resin, blap, claim that. How exciting! Blap. Poor battle pass. Yeah, I mean, I've only logged on for the second half of this patch. It's a casual account. I log in when I feel like it, and I was more motivated to log on in the second half than I was the first half. Is what it is. Yeah, I definitely need to remember to get, try my bestest to get the Banner Boy C5 from the shop this patch on this account. And you paid for it too on a free? You think I paid for the battle pass on a free-to-play casual account? Why would I pay for the battle pass on this account? Why would I pay for the battle pass on an account I'm purposely keeping as a casual account I log into only when I feel like logging into? That also is intended to be free to play because of course it's free to play if it's a casual account. Yeah, you're blind. I'm sorry. I regret to inform you should get new eyes. Anyways, faster go through the event menu. People have made calcs in the current rewards for exploration almost double their ones in Fontaine, and that is including Remuria and Chen Yu Vale without the FOMO rewards. Almost double? That sounds like some bullshit math to me, Gibberel. I'm sorry. They've not increased that much. Almost double? I call bullshit, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call your source on that one. Almost double is a lot. To be clear, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was slightly more or matching. Again, that's my guess is my intention. Like, is like they intended to do less total exploration patches, but same-ish amounts of rewards. I don't think the extra Primo Gems from the shrines, the extra primos from the Tablet of Toma and this leveling, because you said without the FOMO rewards. You said without the FOMO rewards. And the main extra things they have added that give extra Primo Gems exploration-wise are this giving more Primo Gems and wishes, the shrines giving more primos, and then the other thing. And then there's just like, and then there could be more total chests, to be clear. But like, then we need a proper breakdown, and that's like why I'm sorry. We have to ask for source, yeah, because if you're actually claiming it as double, one, there's no way that it's double what all of Fontaine was, including Remuria and Chen Yu Vale, with just the shrines, Tablet of Toma, and statue leveling. I'm not gonna say it's not one. It's not gonna be more necessarily, but double. I'd love to be wrong. I don't know. I'd love to be pessimistic butthole on this one, but I don't know. Anyways, let's do this. Stop yapping. I don't think the guaranteed 4-liner thing is better unless you can choose more than 3 stats. I'm not sure. I think it would take a proper statistical analysis. It's not an easy comparison to make. Particularly because it depends on how you... when you're trying to make a statistical comparison like that, you have to make a value comparison, right? And you have to establish a definition for how you are determining one artifact is more valuable than another, right? And something as simple as you're comparing the value of them by nature of... Oh my god, I just... brain. Of like, you know, if you value more... If you choose to weight more the value of higher quality artifacts rather than the value of just artifacts that complete your builds and allow you to save on resin, right? Like if you value more saving resin, the current implementation is definitely better than a 4-line guarantee. But if you value more the chance for increasing your build, like your build's artifact quality overall, like trying to min-max your build, that's what you value from the elixirs, then that changes things, right? It's the value evaluation, the value formula, as it were, I guess, maybe. So I don't know. It depends how you define things. That's important, is my point. What? Oh, they got the barrier. Nice. Yeah, get wrecked. So the discussions in multiple CM threads. Yeah, it matches your experience because getting the Natlan characters was easier for me. Capturing Radiance exists. Capturing Radiance significantly changes that. Like, I agree that getting Natlan characters is, but you gotta disconnect from the fact that they made getting characters easier on the wishing statistics level. So, anyways, like I don't disagree that Primo Gems are technically more valuable now. So you could argue that it's still probably overall net gain. But my point was, I don't know, like even let's operate on the assumption, like give it the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's operate on the assumption that there was literally twice as many Primo Gems. They gave twice as many Primo Gem rewards through exploration this year. Then why did I select Volcano? Than they did in previous years. Okay. Is that worth getting less actual in-game content being added? Right? Is it actually... Is all the stuff that makes the gacha... It's okay, it's... benefit of the doubt that if it is a lot easier, they gave way more rewards, it's a lot easier to get the gacha things we want this year versus previous years. So the gacha experience is less awful, but they're making less content in exchange for that? Is that the trade we wanted? Personally, not for me, but you might feel differently. I don't know. That was stupid. I should have tried to get that. Oh, got it. Nice. Okay. I don't think I would have taken a trade of like, hey, because if we're not getting a summer event and we're getting one less total like area added over the course of the year, compared to previous years, that is, you know, a 33% reduction in exploration content in my mind. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. And like a 33% reduction in content in exchange for double the rewards seems like a worthwhile trade, I guess, but the main reason I'm playing the game is for content, not for gambling rewards. The gambling rewards is like the motivation, is part of the motivation factor for playing through the content. Without having the content itself, I don't care as much fundamentally about the gambling rewards, right? So reducing the content in exchange for getting more gambling rewards, it's not like a 1-to-1. It's not like, I don't know. I don't feel like, even if it is twice as many rewards, and I don't think it is, but if we assume it is, I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if any amount is enough. I think I'd almost always rather have more content over more rewards. It's kind of my point here, personally. But I also understand that for a lot of people, and they maybe will enjoy the game more if they get more free gamble. But also, I wish to remind you that wishing simulator dot or sorry, wish simulator dot app exists if that's the main motivating factor for you. I'm in this for the Mora. Yeah, that's true. What's the Mora comparison? Exactly. How's the Mora? Have they reduced the amount of Mora? Because that's true hell. I have no idea how to... I can't even properly try to guess for that, because this year I've just leveled way more and pulled for more characters than I normally pulled for in the past in Genshin. So I inherently have no way to evaluate how much or less Mora... how much more or less or equivalent Mora we have for exploration patches. If that is a factor too. Oh, good job, Rain. You switched and gained no benefit. Oh, sneak in. Yes. Ah, why did it get past? Oh, it still did damage though, because overload. Destroy them quickly. Well, I can't. I have no choice. Oh. Oh, back it goes. They have reduced the amount of Mora? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure they have. But I just don't know, because I've farmed far more ley lines this year already than I normally have. And I don't think it's just because of that. I think it's more because I just started leveling and pulling more characters in general this year. Oh, you can kill it with that. Nice. Is this the way you teach a casual about reactions? That's what they've always done, if you haven't noticed, Ailey. They've always tried to teach casuals about reactions through events. What? I didn't mean to launch that at an angle. Cool. Nice. Perfect. Really should have tried shooting that one. My bad. Sorry, I have no commentary. Like I said, I don't really need a commentary to be honest for this. The chat saying. You pulled less total characters in the previous version because it was cons and R5s, and I've pulled this time around having so 11 less more. Oh, failure. It's fine. We already had 12,000 points. Having less Mora when you've leveled units is ass. Okay, so you have noticed the less Mora. Even so, you pulled less characters, but you've still noticed the less Mora. Yeah. Oh, I didn't. What was the time left on this, by the way? I forgot to check for that. Well, I don't know. Remind me. We'll check when we do the last thing. This one shouldn't take that long. Doesn't matter. But oh, what? Oh, we need Hydro. Oops. Derp. Blap. Yes, this is the EU casual account. Can't believe you're out of things to say. This is only your third time playing the event. Yeah. No, this is one of the most mechanically engaging things I've ever played. True. I'm a failure. Should be having better commentary than this. All right. Flap. Do. This one is probably the most control you have over anything in this event because you can try to trap the ball. Yeah. Also, I haven't gotten any doubles. Okay, this might be the slowest possible way you could clear this. Oh my god, I need to get past the... I have failed. Oh my god. Didn't switch in time. Go past the things, please. It's not gonna get past. Oh, it got past. Oh, it's... Oh. No, it's not going to. I just... Okay. If I somehow complete this without getting a single additional ball, that would be incredible. Yep, sorry, Osorio. ZZ. I need to go. I'm already at overtime for D&D by a lot. But I chose to finish my yap because I feel like I would have forgotten to finish anything if I didn't do this. Oh my god, how is it taking so long to do this? How have I not gotten a double? Like... I haven't gotten a single additional ball yet on this level. The level made to like, get you additional balls. How? How have I been doing this poorly? Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy crap. I got an additional ball. I got like 4 immediately. Jesus. Oh my god. That took so long. Okay. Yep. Anyways, a Rubik's Cube to end it off. Let's go. Oh, I still forgot to turn the dialogue back on. Okay. Alright. Well, anyways, that's been the stream. Hopefully, probably no stream tomorrow because I think I will probably try prioritize either fixing my sleep schedule or whatever. Trying to edit videos for either tomorrow / Tuesday release, Pyro Traveler video, Kirara video, something, right? Oh yeah, I'll check what the end of the event is once I finish the dialogue here. Yep, that's the plan. We got a Scofier things, obviously new con. We got plenty of things to do in Genshin this week. I will definitely do a stream on Tuesday, waiting room stream. Do some Zenless for sure. It's easy to not get lost in Genshin yaps when Genshin isn't playable. So I do like me some waiting room streams. Anyways, thank you for that. Can we be free? No. Okay. Well. Yep, give it a good listen, indeed. Surely he won't forget about Zenless. I definitely won't on Tuesday. Definitely won't on Tuesday. But yeah, maybe we can do unit review and then Zenless. We can like start the stream with unit review and then do some ZZZ waiting room stream. That is an option. So 1 day and 3 hours. There you go. Anyone on EU that hasn't done this event, you got 1 day and 3 hours from right now. So that means... No, I was going to try to convert that to UTC. I'm not going to try to convert that to UTC. Too much of a pain in the butt. Do it yourself. But that means, well, I will convert it to like when maintenance should happen. That should be... Wait, that should be like the before... Like 12 hours before maintenance or something like that, I think. No, I think it'd actually be like 16 hours before maintenance. I think. I don't know. Sometime before maintenance. Bye.